Lewis.
Who are you talking about? Jimmy Witherspoon?
Nobody knew who he was.
Lewis.
Who's this Jimmy?
Lewis.
Jimmy.
Who's this Jimmy?
Lewis.
Lewis.
Who's this Jimmy?
just kept on doing it.
Live from Pahrump, Nevada, the Valley of the Dirt People, it's Tech Talk, Taco Tuesday, with your hosts, Jimmy Lewis and Logan Tyler.
Hey, look, it's Tech Talk Taco Tuesday. It works, I think. Welcome to the show. Today is our show 250. I wrote it down. 7. So, Anthony, you don't look like Logan, although you are kind of tall.
Yeah, I gotta shrink down a little bit.
Oh, yeah, because you don't want to get your head cut off by the chat.
Yeah.
So it is episode 257. This is the show where we talk about motorcycle and motorcycle-related products. It's Tech Talk Taco Tuesday, live on Tuesday night. We're half an hour early, believe it or not.
Punctual.
The good thing about Anthony is he talks almost as much as Logan did when I brought him on as the original co-host of Tech Talk Taco Tuesday. But I wanted to introduce Anthony because he is we'll call you our electric bike guru.
I'll take guru.
Yeah. So maybe get just a tad closer to that microphone or you can just pull a little closer to you there so we can hear you. So the way this show works is we just hand out free products and gift certificates all night long.
Sweet.
We're just a giveaway show, and that's the only reason you're watching. I'm pretty sure. I hope. I don't know. I'm gonna reload the chat because it doesn't appear to be working very well. It's our normal technical difficulties because you see how the one on the screen actually has more than the one right here.
Yeah.
So but I want to get to Robert Fisher's thing here. He says he figured out the issue with the Kickstarter. So Robert Pfister thinks that I probably remember exactly who he is, like the question. So the issue: the jack wagon before me welded the end piece back on, throwing off the timing. Oh, now I remember. There was a Kickstarter question. Okay, jack wagon. Is that's like code words for a bad name? He wants to call him something worse?
Yeah.
Okay.
PG.
Welded the end piece back on, throwing the timing off, hence why it wasn't engaging properly. Ordered a new shaft and I'll be here on Friday. Awesome. Hey, Robert, I'm glad. Hopefully we helped you figure that out.
I didn't see that episode. I hope you figured.
I hope
figure it
most
out.
people didn't see that episode because this show is horrible. But we will answer your questions.
I'm excited to read some of the questions. I always see people trying to read them.
I'm gonna
Ready for the
reload.
challenge.
I'm gonna reload this, and hopefully I will get to see the questions too. There's 13 million people
13
watching
million.
the show right
I
now.
See that right there.
Yeah, that came up. I wish I could see that up on the screen. Somebody, you know what? I don't think we're missing much. I think that's actually some preliminary data. So, anyways, Anthony, is your first time on the show.
That's right.
You've been in the studio when we've been doing the show before.
No.
No, you've never been in here.
No, but I've been kind of remote when you guys were doing an interview with Moto.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, we had you on the call.
I was like feeding questions in.
Oh, because you were the electric bike editor at the time. You got promoted to guru.
That's right.
Later. Now that you've procured some test bikes, which is actually not that easy to do, as you've learned. I mean, well, if you have like 20 million followers on the grams or something like that, people will give you whatever you want.
I think you just gotta kind of be professional, be responsive. You know, people are working at a big company. They kind of want you to talk to them like someone at a big company, like Dirt Bike Test. And so you just
you can't just be Anthony.
No, not for my personal email. Just like, hey, bro. So
we got you a Dirt Bike Test email. So
That's
if you want Anthony's email, you want to talk, if you want to chit chat on the electric bikes, it's Anthony@dirtbiketest.com. Okay, we gave out your email. Now wait till junk mail comes in because Robert Pfister wants to know where can your email be found?
Well, now he can find my email.
Yeah, you couldn't find it. Well, I don't know how hard it would be to figure out what my name is and then my website.
This is a tough
and you
code to
put
crack.
those two things together. It's kind of like I keep it a little bit off the grid just so that every kid doesn't email me wanting stickers. But we got a banger of a show tonight.
That's right.
Speaking of this, We have Joey Evans, who has an awesome story about. Well, no, it's actually not an awesome story.
Well, it's an inspiring
It's
story.
an inspiring story.
That's right.
He's going to tell us about Dakar, and I know a couple things about Dakar, and he has a whole different experience for Dakar, which we're going to get into on the show. So if you have Dakar questions, you can ask them here tonight. If your motorcycle broke this week, you can ask them here tonight. And if you entered Rooster Endo, your bike will be featured tonight, even if I forgot to do it the last 2 times, and even if you sent it to my wrong email, Stuart or Seth or Sammy or someone like that. Like, they kept telling me, I sent it in, and I found it in the wrong email. Not the email that rhymes with dirt bike test, you know? So, anyways, welcome to the show, everybody. The show would not be possible with the help of our sponsors. We have lots of awesome sponsors. If you watch, you know what we screwed up? When we were adjusting those cameras, see the screen up there that has all of our sponsors floating across the back of it? We clipped it a little bit, so I'm gonna have to do a modification. So what I do is during the show, I'm such an awesome host that I can fix that. How's that?
There you go.
And if you're listening to this on an audio format, you have no idea what I just did, and that's why you should watch it on YouTube's.
And subscribe on YouTube.
You can subscribe.
Right.
We need.
If you want.
We're at 24.3 billion subscribers right now.
Billion,
Yeah,
right.
billion.
I get the zeros mixed
And we
up.
want to go up to 25 billion.
Right. Makes
So-
a big difference that one last billion.
You can't believe the instead of bringing the money in wheelbarrows,
Right.
it comes in on small tractors.
Small tractors,
Yeah.
right? We're trying to get to trucks.
Yeah, we want
Yeah,
the trucks
the whole
because
trucks,
there's
yeah.
other people that have more followers. So what you really need to do is you need to go on your wife's YouTube account, subscribe to us. You need to go on your daughter's, all your kids' YouTube's accounts and subscribe to us. And that's the way we make the show work.
Right.
So welcome everybody to the show. Yeah, and I got my soundboard working again.
Oh, now I gotta put the headphones on. I don't know what
Oh, you didn't hear that? Oh, you want to hear what
was
that
it the
sound like?
monkey crow sound?
Hell
yeah, okay,
it's
good
the
guess.
monkey crow sound. So so the way this show works is you just email me and I send you free products. And
Can I email you and get free products?
yeah,
Okay.
you got a free Can-Am.
Oh, that's true. Well, but I gotta give it back. Well, or
No,
they
you're
won't.
gonna give it to me.
Oh yeah.
It's
Well, you
like
already
it's-
have it. Yeah. See, I don't have it anymore.
Yeah,
It's already too late.
So Anthony's out here. We're testing the Can-Am, and what's it called
The
again?
Can-Am Origin.
Origin,
Yeah.
which is a Can-Am's. Well, Origin. It's the origin of their getting back into the two-wheeled market.
Yeah.
It's the origin of them getting electrified in the motorcycle business, and it's Jason Abbott's new job. Jason was a good friend of mine, and he is our media contact there, and he was nice enough to make sure we got that bike, even though it's not a dirt bike
Right. It's a urban commuter.
with knobby-ish tires on it.
Knobby-ish tires. It's taller than the other one. They have a street-going version too, or purely street-going version too.
I hucked it off a jump today
That's right.
multiple times.
That's right.
Crossed some dunes.
Yep.
Yeah, we did dirt bike test things with it. So if you have questions about electric bikes, evidently I'm fully the electric bike guy now. A little bit. I mean,
We've converted you. Now you're gonna switch from Dodge trucks to Rivians. No.
woo. Well, I wish I should get you that picture of the Rivian.
At the rally or
the Pirelli tire event. Did I show
Oh
you?
no.
Did I show you that? I got the banger clip. Like, it's gnarly
That's
what I do
cool.
with that truck.
Uh,
And it was the quad
Yeah,
motor
quad motor.
thing with
That's cool.
millions of horsepower. It was crazy. I'm not scared of the electric stuff really. I have a good time. But out of the last 10 bikes I've ridden, 10 different motorcycles I've ridden, 3 have been electric.
Well, there you go.
Yeah. So yeah, they're coming around.
They do some stuff.
Okay, now we lost 8 million viewers because I just said that. So, okay, Anthony, thanks for coming in again. Our sponsors, of course, the show wouldn't be possible without the help of Yamaha. Yamaha is not making an electric bike right now because
not production bikes.
Yamaha, like me, they hate electric bikes.
Well, they like to put.
No, they don't.
they like to put
Tuning
electric
forks.
trials bikes prototypes online to get us all interested.
Excited. Yeah.
Excited.
Yamaha has a new Tenere. That's what you'd be excited about. Tenere is a very affordable, awesome adventure bike. I didn't realize how many changes they made to the 2025 because we're going to be getting one to test here pretty soon.
Oh, cool.
And as a big fan of the Tenere, I own one. I bought our test bike. I liked it so much. I bought it right away. Like, I got it, and I'm like, I'm not giving this back. I'm buying it. And then I saw all the changes. They made a new one. I'm real excited to try those out. So if you're looking for a new Tenere, go to your Yamaha dealer. Tell them Dirt Bike Test sent you, and they're going to go, who's that?
We can hand them a Dirt Bike Test business card.
Yeah.
And they'll know.
Our other sponsors like Seat Concepts on the board, Fasst Company Flex Handlebars, DDC, the Hot Shoe Hall of Fame. And if you're thinking about that, this is the Heart Shoe, right after the beginning of the year. The Hall of Fame, it's free. The Hall of Fame ceremony is free every year. It's easy to get to. It's around the Mecum auctions in Vegas. Go check that out if you want to hang out with like legends. I mean, there's some legends there, and I'm not including myself in that. I just go there to win the race. Grab that plaque down there.
This one?
That one right there. Yeah, hold that up there. Hold it up to the emergency camera here, right there. There we go. Yeah. You can come and try to beat me. Actually, I think I'm gonna have a scratch race before the event. I'm gonna get that set
Can
up.
the regular public can do the go-karts too?
Well, during the event, like at the event, right at the time of the event, it's just like the inductees get
Yeah.
to do it. Yeah, because it's a bunch. It's gnarly because those guys, some of those guys, they moved into car racing. I never did, but I go down there with my buddy Jerry, and Jerry's kind of got some. Got some lines, and then Gene Woods, who owns the place. He owns the place. I mean, literally, and they show me lines and stuff. So
Oh, nice.
it's all good. So come and do that. And what other? Who else do we have to mention? Bulletproof Designs. They make balsa wood front disc protectors, which is the best front disc protector you ever need. But they make really good protection equipment for your stuff. Of course, double take mirrors. If you know how to use your email, you can email me, and I might even be able to give you a discount code for this. So that's at DDC Sprockets. We have a DDC Sprocket up there. Taco Moto, one of our main sponsors, and Taco Mike is here tonight, believe it or not. He's going to come in and defend himself on why he would not send out a $100 gift certificate to one of our winners. I don't know the story, but we're going to get to the bottom of this. Tacomoto.co. They're the ones that if you need stuff for your bike, it's the gateway drug for modifying your motorcycle. That's what I would like to say. So, okay, Anthony, thanks for sitting in. Do you want to hang out while we interview Joey?
Sure.
Okay,
You want me
Joe,
to
you
slide
got to
over?
come and sit in the middle, buddy. So this is Joey Evans. It was funny because I was gonna. How you're not gonna have a mic. Oh, you're gonna have a microphone. We'll have microphones. Grab that one over there. That one works as well.
Putting these as well. Good.
I gotta be. No, you don't need those. I'm just doing it to monitor the levels in case any
Okay, cool.
weird sounds. If we take phone calls, you have to use them. And if I make weird sounds, like that, or
again.
Yeah, we don't get to hear that either.
yeah, or if I read some poems. Oh, the other segment that we're gonna have tonight is it's called the Concrete Balloon segment. And if you want to sponsor, this is our buddy Jerry Bernardo's book. It's his new poetry book. I'm not going to let you read it because it'll give you nightmares.
Okay,
but
good.
it's really good poetry if you're into. If you want to, really test the. You might be into it. If you want to sponsor me to not read a segment from this book, just do the super chat or whatever they do on the YouTubes, or send me an email with a lot of money attached to it. I think you can do that, or just an envelope full of cash. You can sponsor me not reading from Concrete Balloons. That's a double take mirror.
Oh, I love those. I've got them on my 890, and Those are cool. We've seen you got the newer ones now as well.
Yeah, the shaped ones. This
yeah.
is this is the one. Well, you're like me. You know, how do you shave the back of your head?
Yeah, exactly. No,
Yeah.
I did in the,
You
in
use
the,
it- you
in the
use a
shower. That's
Double
it.
take
Yep.
mirror. Yeah, you just get it and you can get all tuned up back there.
They need to make like a special one that fits on a shower door or something. You know, there we go.
Oh, patent that idea real quick before Ned gets it. So, anyways, Joey, thanks for stopping by. Taco Mike imported you into Pahrump, Nevada. This is the Valley of the Dirt People, the home of Poof Dirt. So when you're practicing for your Baja 1000 goals, because they have a lot of silt beds.
Yeah, we saw that. Yeah.
So do we. Anthony found one today.
Yeah.
You notice how I stopped?
Yeah.
Because I came up to it and I said, "Oh, this is a deceiving one because it goes down and it does a turn,
Yeah.
and it almost looks like it's level all the
Yeah,
way
it's
through,
flat.
but there's two really deep ruts, and
I was borrowing your terrain reading.
yeah, but it's like
talking.
but you can't see what's in the bottom of it, and it's kind of has. And here's the interesting thing about poof dirt and silt is it's kind of like water,
Yeah.
and in that it kind of goes and spreads and it comes back, but sometimes you can't see what's underneath it, and sometimes you hydroplane, and then sometimes you find the bottom, and it's not very predictable. So
When you try to explain it to people that don't ride, you got to say it's almost like riding in a foot of really muddy water, and you don't know what's at the bottom.
Yeah.
Because you don't ride generally riding through it, but you can't see what you're riding on.
I always say go around it.
Oh yeah, that's good advice right there.
Yeah, but there's places where you can't.
Oh yeah.
But even when it's like super narrow on a motorcycle, I can generally get up to the edge or I can stay in the middle.
Yeah.
And it just depends on how many other people have decided to stay in the middle, and then what was in the
Yeah.
middle before it got all puffed out. But
What's the difference between fesh and puff dirt? Is it the
Same
thing?
shape.
It's all the same. In Australia, they call it bull dust.
Oh yeah, bull dust.
Yeah,
Okay.
and then I think, then in Mexico they call it silt, if I'm not mistaken.
silt,
But it's all the same thing.
yeah, silt here, puff dirt here,
Fesh was
Fesh
what
fesh
it's
is
called up in
Africa.
Africa. Yeah.
Africa. Yeah.
Yeah.
Everybody kind of has their own
Yeah.
name for that.
Everybody hates it equally.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is not good. So if you have any questions so Joey, he's a motivational speaker now.
Yeah, keynote speaker. Yeah, I hate
Keynote.
the word motivational speaker. It makes you sound like make everyone stand up and hug each other. You know, I'm not that kind of dude. No.
Okay.
Yeah, but yeah, you could call it that. Go on.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, but you have a motivational story. Your story is you got into motorcycles kind of late in life.
Yep, 26, got my first bike, second-hand bike. Yeah,
Decided you had a goal,
yeah.
which was
I saw, pictures of the Dakar rally on TV and things, and I was like, yep, that's it. And kind of saw that and set a goal to race the Dakar one day.
and circumstances got in the way of that.
Very much so. Yeah, at 32 years old in 2007, lined up at the start of a race. And it was one of those, I think the guys that ride will relate to this. So I'll mention this. I was lying like second in the championship at the time, but it's a local championship. It's like a regional thing. In the bigger scheme of things, it means absolutely nothing. But to you, that dude on that start line, riding against your buddies and stuff, it feels like that means
everything.
It's everything. And went flat out, got into the first corner, and I made the corner, got a good start. You know what it's like with those off-road races in the dirt and the dust. You got to get a good start, but got a good start. One of the guys behind me didn't make the corner. He kind of crashed into my swing arm. We both went down. I went down pretty hard, and a lot of guys in the dust and mayhem rode over me and things as well. And I was unconscious for several minutes and woke up and smashed out 12 of my teeth and couldn't feel my legs.
Oh, so paralyzed.
Yeah, paralyzed from the chest down. I broke T8, T9 vertebra, so sort of this sort of height here, and I broke the vertebrae off the ribs, crushed my spinal cord, and just nothing, chest down. It was like big pieces of meat just hanging on my body, no feeling, no movement, just gone. Yeah.
Huh. So at that point, Dakar is a little ways away.
Yeah, that's safe to say. Yeah, and I was, self-employed at the time, doing sort of manual labor, and married with 4 daughters, and so suddenly I was in a position where I can't earn money, can't walk, you lose everything. And a lot of guys don't know this, but when you get paralyzed, when you break your back or your neck, you lose all bowel control, you lose all bladder control, you lose your ability to digest food. It's like this, it's everything, man. It's this big package. And so it was a really, really, really dark time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Started here, and Road Racer 3R says he recently read your book, and it's an amazing story.
Ah, cool.
So we're going to get to all this stuff where you can read about Joey and follow him and do all this stuff. But he is, if you want to follow him, it's real easy. It's Joey Evans. That's JoeyEvans.co.za, which stands for Zanzibar.
Yeah, it's South Africa, but I think it's South Africa. I think that's our code there. ZA is South Africa. Yeah.
So I was joking to say when you came in, I recognized a South African accent. I was gonna go New Zealand, right?
Oh, we get that all the time, man. You Canadians.
Yeah. I prefer saltwater Mexican, but however you want to do it. Definitely bad times, and your book goes into a lot of this stuff about this, correct?
For sure, yeah.
Yeah, and but you at some point decided that the Dakar was still on the menu.
Yeah, when you're in a place like that, I mean, it's like you gotta make some big decisions, and it's tough. A lot of guys will have big things like this, and lots of other different things. It can be cancer and car accidents. And there's all sorts of things, and there's nothing wrong with, like, you can't be blamed for feeling sorry for yourself and hitting a lot of depression. But at some point, you got to make a decision, man. Are you gonna pick yourself up and live? You don't get to choose if you're gonna walk again and those kind of things, but you get to choose if you're gonna live again.
Yep.
And I decided, I'm gonna live, man. I've got my 4 daughters. I got my incredible wife Meredith. I got a lot to live for. And along with that, I thought about that goal to race Dakar, and I decided, hey man, I'm still gonna do that. That's gonna be my physical goal. That one day, finishing that race will kind of symbolize me beating that injury physically.
And so, with your injury, I guess there's different levels of being completely paralyzed or having the ability to have feeling come back, have muscle control and stuff like that. How does that work?
How does it work? Yeah, sure. So when you crush your spinal cord, a lot of guys who are paralyzed, the cord's not severed; it's often just crushed. And when you crush the spinal cord, obviously whichever level you break it at or you crush it at, you lose everything from that level down. So the higher up that you damage your spinal cord, the worse it is. So guys that break their necks, that's when they're considered, you'd call them quadriplegic. Yep. And so then they lose a lot of the use of their hands and their arms. And then obviously as you go down, I was at the level where I was paralyzed basically in the front. I had my top 2 sets of stomach muscle, but not my bottom 2. And then it would kind of go around just to slightly higher at the back. So that's where I was. And then you have different degrees of how bad it is. So someone who's complete, we don't have the medical technology today for that person to be able to walk again. And it's one of those things where we hope one day we get it, and there's different ways where it's either a biological thing or it's a like a computerized thing to jump the gap, because that's the problem is tiny. There's not a problem with your legs. It's just the brain can't talk to your legs, if that makes sense. But what happens is when you get crushed or whatever damage that happens to it, you get a lot of swelling, and it cuts off everything. And sometimes, the majority of the time, that's permanent forever. And sometimes you get a situation like mine where the swelling goes down, they fuse my back to take pressure off the area, that kind of stuff, and then you start getting some stuff firing. And then that's what's called an incomplete spinal cord injury. But it takes months and months to get to the point where you start getting stuff. And then at that point, all the muscles have atrophied. So, my legs were super skinny and, lost everything. And then I was fortunate enough to get some stuff back. So I still, even today, I mean, here I am sitting here, and we're now, 17, 18 years later, and I still have to use catheters every day. I can't run, I can't jump. I can't feel hot or cold or pain sensation below my chest. I can't sweat below my chest. I have to take medication every day to digest food. I got a lot of issues, but I can ride my bike. I can walk. I can, get out there and stuff. So I consider myself incredibly fortunate to have the type of incomplete spinal cord injury that I have.
Yeah. And so you said it was how long after the injury to when you were kind of able to start the rehab again?
Yeah, it's hard to say because you don't go like one day you're paralyzed, next day you're walking, kind of thing. I started with a little flicker in my toe, and then got a little bit of movement in my ankle, but it was over months and months and months to start then walking really badly between parallel bars with crutches and that kind of stuff, and then slowly but surely a little bit more, and it really took years to get to the point where I am now. And it kind of like you improve at quite a rate, and then it kind of tapers off. You know what I mean? And then you realize what you're left with.
So how long was that? Like the we'll call it the main recovery.
The main recovery, best part of a year.
Okay.
Would be the main, and then even bleeding on after that. But yeah, at about a year, I kind of got to a point where then it flattened out a lot more. So still got improvement with time, but it flattened out after a year. Yeah.
And still to this day, are you still working on stuff?
Oh yeah, but there's stuff that I can do nothing about at the moment.
Yeah.
Which is that so there's if you pull hairs out of my legs, I can't feel it. I don't have any like sensation with that sort of stuff. But and that's something that like there's no exercises I can do to bring that back. Like some guys who are I mean, there's a lot of riders that get complete paralysis, and that guy can be the most motivated, most hardcore dude, but physically where we are now with medical is nothing you can do. So there's stuff I can do nothing about, but there is a lot of stuff, like if I eat right and if I'm working out and I'm like looking after myself, I walk a lot better than if I'm just lying around.
So it's like
drinking
normal
beer and eating tacos with you guys.
It's like normal stuff. Oh, thanks. So it's just like the same normal stuff, the same normal clean living, good living.
Yeah.
Pays dividends no matter where you're at.
For sure.
And I think and like I always think that this muscle up here is the most important muscle you need to keep motivated, pointing in the right direction.
Massive.
Need to keep the head going in the right direction. And like I have no idea. I can't comprehend what you've gone through, but it's a fear that I have.
Oh man,
it's one of those things that you think about. And it's like and I always say that's what keeps me riding safer.
Yeah.
I mean, if I was just like I could just go and they could point the tricorder at me and go like this
they
do on Star Trek. I mean, I tend to think at some point that kind of stuff is coming. They talk about this, but it's not here. And I still totally believe in the kind of the risk reward, kind of a thing. And if there was no risk in what we do, the rewards that you get when you do it won't be so high, and sometimes you have to pay. I always feel you have to pay the price for maybe all the fun you had. Hence why I do this show.
Yeah, there you go.
This show is penance. This show is penance for all the fun and enjoyment I've had for riding motorcycles. Because I'll tell you, I think most of the other ding dongs on the internet that are giving away free advice are just what I just said. But and then like, why am I any different?
Yeah.
Why?
Well, you have more giveaves from what I've heard.
Yeah, it's all about the giveaways. Yeah.
Pretty soon.
As Taco Mike's worried about if I announce the new program we haven't even talked about yet. So,
just quick on that though, you mentioned the headspace, and I wanted to say that like I've seen guys that are completely paralyzed, like neck down stuff. They go on to live amazing lives, and they have great relationships, and they do a lot for people around them, and they do great. And you'll have someone else that'll have a bad break in his leg or something. He can still walk or whatever, and that dude just goes miserable into self-pity and for years and years, and just kind of loses his whole life in the process. And so when you mentioned about the headspace is way more important than learning to walk again or whatever else it is, man. That really is everything, man.
Yeah, and I mean, I think that's the hardest one. It's the easiest one, and I think it's also the hardest one. And I don't know if it's like how people are wired. Maybe they're wired a little bit different or built a little bit different. Because I can just see it in just ordinary, how easy it is for some people to get broken.
Yeah.
Like you can all. When I was racing, I knew the competitors that all I had to do was say the right thing to them, or the wrong thing for them, or the right thing for me, and I could break them.
Yeah.
And you didn't have to do it on the track or out in the desert or whatever it was. You could literally say something as stupid as, "Oh yeah, I got like 2 more horsepower out of my bike," and it would wreck them. They're like, you would say it like, like it was just another thing.
Yeah.
and it would destroy them. So yeah. So anyhow, awesome. So how long from the injury was it till we were going to Dakar?
Yeah, so it was a 10-year journey. So paralyzed in 2007, and then 2017 stood on the start line of Dakar. It was a South American one. It was Paraguay, Bolivia, Argentina, and yeah, it was 10 years. And it was, I had all sorts of ups and downs in that 10 years. In 2014, I actually hit a cow on the border of Mozambique and Swaziland in southern Africa, and ended up lying out in the bushveld for several hours. And I tore the triceps off my elbow, and exposed all the bones in my forearm, and broke ribs and separated my collarbone. And it was like I had a big nasty one there. And then it was really dark times again, and a recommit and that kind of stuff. And then put all the money that I had towards going to Morocco to race Mazuga Rally to qualify for Dakar. And so I got my entry to Dakar and was stone broke with nothing to pay for it. And so then we did all the fundraising I could. And in 6 months, we managed to raise all the fundraising. And we did it with, we had like evenings where we got some speakers in, and we sold raffle tickets, and we did it in a big enduro bike event. And my daughters helped me to marshal and sold cold drinks and hot dogs and all that sort of stuff. And it was about 3 days before the start, and I managed to hit the goal that I needed to race Dakar. Yeah.
Yeah, and I understand the desire.
Yeah, you get it.
I was that kid too, and I was blessed because I had a pretty successful racing career, but I sold my soul to go to Dakar. It ended up, it didn't cost me much, but it still cost me a lot of money to go over there as a at the time a pretty good American racer. Like I was one of the top guys in the off-road stuff, and the fact that you couldn't get a ride, you couldn't go do it. And so I worked for the world's largest motorcycle magazine. I worked for Cycle World magazine. I can do a story about this, and they were looking for more American press. I did crazy stuff. I rode my motorcycle out to. I found out where Hubert Oriol, who was the race director.
Yes,
I found out where he was going to be he was going to come over to try to talk to some American car teams.
Yeah.
I rode my motorcycle out there and found him. and I had a mock rally bike at the time. I built my own KTM 400 that I made it into a kind of rally bike, and so it wasn't so much as like trying to raise the money, because there was no way I was going to be able to raise the money it was going to cost me. I was just going to use every favor I had to
cash it all in at that point.
Yeah, to cash it in and go, and it worked.
Yeah. Well, they say getting to the start is one of the hardest things, man. Because when you have to start paying those bills, it's all just numbers until you're actually transferring it out of your bank account, and suddenly it's very real.
I know how much money Sarah Price had to pay to go do Dakar in the UTV.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
And luckily now she's a factory driver for Land Rover.
Nice.
On the Defender. So she's on the Defender team. She's with
cool.
Peter, she's with the
Peter Hansel.
Same team as Peter Hansel. Yeah, which is super cool. And
So
Seven's
in cars now, not in the.
Yeah, she's out of the car. She's into the big leagues now. It's kind of like the car is it's a T2 car, so it's meant to be limited in suspension travel and stuff like that. But it's still it's limited in speed less than the bike, so it'll go faster than Sarah's car is going to go faster than Ricky's bike. Let's put it that way.
Wow.
Not because it can, but their speed limit is like 10 km more than the stuff. But anyways, I know the like Hubert told me. He said more of the Dakar is getting there, and then he always told me, he said the real Dakar begins when your Dakar ends.
Yeah.
Which happened. I went out on with heat prostration on the first year I went. I made it one day past the rest day, so 11 or 12 days.
Sure.
11th day, I don't remember. Actually, I think someplace I have the road book.
Yeah,
it's
cool.
stuck on someplace that or the time card, my time card.
Yeah.
And my bike was perfect. I was sitting in the top 10. Everything was good, but I didn't realize what diarrhea can do to a human body. and I was scared of doctors. So those kind of things. So you're and you were telling us a little story about your Dakar went just completely smooth, right?
Oh yeah, as Dakars do. Yeah, yeah. So it was, there was, I mean, the crazy thing was there was 3 of us South Africans on the start line that year, and on day 4, my buddy, he went out, Walter, he went out on day 4, and there was a really bad section, man. It was like super soft dunes. It was at high altitude. And in that one section alone, 18 riders. I mean, there's only like 140 starters. 18 riders just in that one, like 100-kilometer section of dunes went out, and he went out there. And then the next day, I came across on day 5. I came across my other South African teammate, and he was lying in the mountains, and I came across him, and he'd broken his leg in 8 places, and I helped to load him in the helicopter and stuff. It was pretty traumatic. And then you got to get back on the bike and keep going. And I tore ligaments in my knee as well. And so I thought I was going to be out. They sonared it in the bivouac, and they said, yep, the ligaments on the inside are torn, but they wanted to pull me, but they said, look, your knee is still stable. So if you want to continue, and you know what it takes to get there, you're like, dude, strap it, we're going. You know what I mean? It's like, you don't even think about it. Yeah, you're all in. And just kept ticking over the days. I was lying pretty much at the back the whole race. I'm not a super fast dude or anything like that. My only goal was to stay in. I never looked at my standings once. It was just a case of I checked my start time, got there, try to get through the kilometers, and get to the end of the day. And I started every day in the dark, finished every day in the dark, apart from 2 the entire race. So long days. And I got all the way to day 12, and it was 13 days that year. And on day 12, it went really south.
Yeah. So we're with Joey Evans. He's from South Africa. He suffered a catastrophic spinal injury and set his goal to go back and do Dakar. I'm kind of setting this up for the people that might have just joined. And he's telling us a story about his Dakar that went really smooth, especially the car that went smoothly over the top of your motorcycle on what day?
Exactly.
What day we were talking about again?
So day 12, yes.
Day 12.
I'll tell you the story there, man. So, you always start in the order you finished the day before, and I'd had some problems the previous day, along with every other day. So I started day 12 last, stone last again, and it was about mid-morning, and we entered into like a semi-arid desert. And there was a Jeep track that kind of wound its way through, but over the years, the tracks have got deeper and deeper. So it was like these parallel ruts winding their way through, and they were filled with fish, the silt.
Oh, yeah.
And so as a biker, you can't ride outside the tracks because there's vegetation. So you pick a rut, and you kind of just stay in that rut. And I'm in the left-hand rut going along, and there's an alarm on the bike that goes off when a car catches up to you, and they press the button that determines when that alarm goes off.
Called the Sentinel.
Yeah, the Sentinel, that's it. And
the car presses the button.
yeah, the
It's
co-driver
to
presses
warn
it to warn the
person
biker.
in front. Yeah, so you have a beep, you get a beep, and then it lets you know there's a car approaching.
Yeah. So it's a crazy thing, because the theory is that they see a biker about 200 meters away, they press the button. Now, in theory, the biker goes, oh, there's a car. He pulls to the side and stops. The car goes past. The biker waits for the dust, gets back in, and carries on. It's like the system works great, but what happens is you might have heard the term jackrabbit. And so what happens is the guy will press a button, and sometimes the bike will go like, oh, crap, a car, bop, and he hits the gas. And so then what happens is cars, then they don't like to buzz you, because now they don't... It's easier if you don't know they're there, because you're wearing earplugs, your bike's loud, and so then they can pass you quicker than if you know. But as a biker, it's incredibly dangerous. And if you notice them at the last minute, you try to swerve or something, obviously it goes pear-shaped, and bikers get killed like this. But I'm in that left-hand lane, and the guy presses the button, and my alarm goes off, and I turn around expecting to see him miles back, and he's like 20 meters behind me. He's doing double my speed, and I've literally got a couple seconds to get out the way. And so I try to swerve off just into the vegetation, but that rut was right up to my axle at that point, and the front wheel just dragged up against the inside of the rut. And guys who ride will know what it's like when you're in a rut and you try to turn out and you don't have enough of an angle. And
Anthony
you just...
did it today.
Oh, did you?
But
Ah,
he,
okay.
he didn't tip, though. There was no car behind him.
Yeah, the pressure was a little more on for me. And so I kind of went down with the bike like this, separated off the bike, and the guy missed me by centimeters, but he crashed straight into my bike and then completely just flattened that whole bike. I'll have to give you a pic of that one. And bike's just destroyed. Destroyed. And the guy stopped, and the navigator like kind of put one foot out the car and gave me like the thumbs up, you know, and I'm on my knees, the dust is clearing, I got a destroyed bike, and I'm like, no, you know, and all this sort of stuff. And he just got back in the car and he just left me. And I had to drag the bike out of the track on my own and stand it up, and I just realized, man, I'm out of the race. Like, the bike was so destroyed. The exhaust was completely flattened and bent into the back wheel. The right foot peg is sheared off the side of the bike with all the mountings from the frame with it. 3 petrol tanks on the bike, 2 of the petrol tanks completely destroyed, all the fuel's run out. Bars are bent, triple clamps are bent, radiators damaged. The whole navigation tower is just completely mangled, broken off the front end of the bike. The whole frame of the bike is completely bent. Just the seats torn out, the mountings, air filters torn. The bike is just destroyed. And yeah, at that point I had 660 kilometers to still race that day. So that's like over 400 miles. So it's just, you know, it's just over. And there's no bikes behind me or anything. And I just thought, my first thought, to be honest, was like, it's over, and it was like relief. You know, when you are out that race, it's like the pain stops.
Did you in Dakar? Did you ever ask yourself, like, why am I riding a 2-wheeled motorcycle
every day 1,000 times?
Yeah. Like, why? Like, you think about it, it's like, why am I on this thing? You know, these
you're probably wondering how I got this way. What's that one they use on the YouTube videos?
Yeah.
How I ended up like that. Yeah.
How did I get here? What
yeah,
was it?
something like that. Yeah.
No, but yeah, like you said, it's all of a sudden it's like it's over.
Oh yeah.
And there's a relief, but then.
And then all the reality of it hits that you're not finished, and if you don't finish, you got to come back, because now you're at day 12 of 13, and now you got to start again. And I'm like, no.
After I got my helicopter ride out, and they were like, you know, I had IVs in both arms, and they thought I was going to die. My body temperature was like, I don't know, remember. I don't even know what's your normal body temperature. 90. Was that 112?
I don't know.
I was where you start, like, your brain starts sizzling.
Oh yeah,
that's because there was nothing.
I'm a metric guy, so I don't know any of those numbers.
A little bit hot, but there was no way I was going back, and I came back, and it was like a month or two before, like, I even was kind of. I was something wrong with me, and
I've heard that from your friends as well, actually.
Well, that's different.
Okay, gotcha.
But this is a real specific thing. But then it was like, I'm not done. I didn't go over there to not finish.
Yeah.
I didn't care how I finished. I just needed to finish this thing. And and you know, so anyways, get back to your story.
No, but you're right. You're spot on. You nailed it there. Where it's like it's over, but you're like.
Oh, we're going to talk about you going back to the Baja 1000,
but there's
which I'm going to try to talk you out of.
Okay, cool, and I hope you do. But so then I just thought, you know what, with that stage that day, and it's not always like this with all stages and with all years, but the way you go out the race is if you miss your start time the next morning. And my start time the next morning was 4 a.m. And here I am at like 10 o'clock in the morning or whatever. And so I just decided, I said, you know, there's often guys that'll quit races when there's stuff they could have done just a little bit more, but they didn't realize it at the time, or the stage was shortened because there was a storm or the helicopter crashed or whatever it is. And you never know what's going to happen. So I said, okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to stay in this race until 4 o'clock tomorrow morning when I'm time barred. that's my goal. And so what I did is I started stripping the bike, and I stripped the whole exhaust off that bike. I had to isolate the fuel tanks that were damaged. I had to strip a lot of the navigation equipment off so I get the bars to turn, wedge the seat back in, just repair the air filter as best I could. And the wheels were like this, they were like, so I couldn't even ride in that rut anymore or anything, because the triple clamp itself was actually bent. And so then what I did is I just kind of zigzagged through the vegetation, and it took me like, I don't know, an hour or whatever to just get it working. And then I'm zigzagging along. The bike's got no power and everything. I'm also running out of fuel because I got the one tank, and I got a couple of liters. There's no one behind me. It's more than 60 kilometers till I hit civilization again. I can do maybe 15 or 20 kilometers, and then 10 miles, and then I'm going to be out anyway. And then I figured, well, then I'm just going to push it. And so I just kept going and going, and like, I know I'm wasting my time. It's going to take me, at the speed I can do on that bike, it's going to take me like, 2 weeks or whatever, to finish. It's not even close. I'm total waste of time.
But you're not quitting.
But I'm like, I will only go out being time barred. That's how this ends. And then I find a bike in the middle of the semi-arid desert. It's just standing there, this bike, a KTM 450 RFR, just standing there in the middle of nowhere. And what had happened was the rider had crashed. He'd broken both his arms, and he'd been medevaced out. And they leave the bike there for the sweeper truck to come and collect it.
Camion Belize.
Yep, yeah, you go. and when I helped load David into the helicopter, my buddy who was medevaced out, I saw they took all the tracking equipment off the bike and they put it with the rider. And because they want to know where the rider is, they don't, they're not too worried about the bike. And I saw this bike.
It's gonna get stolen anyway.
Exactly, man. And I saw this bike had all the tracking equipment stripped off it, and so I realized this guy's been medevaced out the race. And there were these 3 Argentinian guys in the middle of nowhere, just spectators of the race on old dirt bikes, like 20-year-old dirt bikes in the middle of nowhere. And these 3 guys, they helped me, and we stripped that bike. We stripped the whole exhaust off. We siphoned all the fuel out of that bike. We had to strip the whole side of the foot peg thing. And in order to get the kind of cradle for the foot peg off, you got the bolt that goes through the swing arm, and it was a size 17 to get that out. So I'm carrying all these little titanium, like you got your little race kit.
Yeah.
I'm not carrying a size 17 spanner, you know what I mean? Those guys, one of them had a big, we call them shifting spanners. What do you call them? Monkey wrench.
Yeah.
Big rusted thing like this, cable tied to the front of his bars. He comes over with this thing. We strip that thing off and we get the bike working. And then at that point I was 4 hours behind the guy who was second last. And I got on that bike and I rode it the rest of that day without seeing another bike or another quad that entire rest of the day, just for hundreds of kilometers, pretty much alone through South America. And then it got dark, and I rode that night all the way, crossing rivers in the middle of the night on my own, which is the freakiest thing in South America. And then, forests and dune fields and all sorts. And eventually I got to the bivouac at 2:15 in the morning, slept for 1 hour, made my 4 a.m. start time, rode 850 kilometers the last day, and finished Dakar.
Nice. Yeah. Hey, it's better than I did in my first one.
Oh man, no, but I'm sure you would have finished way up the field compared to me.
I didn't fit. No, if you don't finish, you don't finish, and that's what I always tell people. And that's how I always tell people, it's like I offer a lot of advice, and except for this show, like if I take the time to come and talk to you, like I want to tell you something, it's because I want to help. Yeah. It's like I'm seeing something that I think that my experiences can help. And then, so when we talk about racing and stuff like that, and I always give credit, I don't care how fast I was going if I didn't finish.
Gotcha.
You didn't finish.
Yeah.
The first goal in the race, like the saying is in order to finish first, you must first finish.
Yeah.
And I learned that the hard way. It was for something completely stupid because I was scared of doctors. Yeah. And I wouldn't go get a damn little pill.
So hang on, you ride motorbikes, but you're scared of
That's the
doctors.
only reason
You
I-
realize that's a total
well,
contrast.
You
It's
seem
a
to-
package deal.
No, I try to stay away from my one of my good friends is my doctor. My good friend is a chiropractor and one's a doctor. And when I get hurt, I call my friends And because they're not my doctors, my friends, I say, hey, I did this. What do you think? And they're like, you need to go see a real doctor. Like, and not me.
Yeah, that bone needs to be on the inside.
Yeah, you dumbass. Yeah. So, no, I do it to. I mean, I think that's probably because I don't like being hurt. Because I mostly don't like being hurt because I don't want to not be able to ride tomorrow.
Exactly.
That's number one for me. And number two is I don't like doctors and I don't like pain.
Yeah.
Although I do have a saying that says, "Enjoy pain while living, for death provides no such pleasure."
Ah, I like that.
That
is cool.
That's my crazy ass motivation when you're in the deep. You know, you're talking about being in those deep places.
Yeah.
You know, when it's like it hurts. It hurts, and whether it's a mental hurt or physical hurt, you're in this place that you're just it hurts, and it's like, you know what? You could end it all right now, but you may not get this back.
Yeah.
And sometimes that's what it's like, that grind through that pain, and it's hard to flip the switch.
Yep.
Because it's like a current, you know, it's going one direction. You got to turn around and make it go the other direction, and that's like what I do in my head. You know, I sometimes I laugh when I'm really hurting. People are like, "Why are you laughing?" It's because I know where I'm going with this, and it's not going to be pretty. So,
man.
Okay,
that's a good way of looking at it. I like that.
Yeah. So my buddy Jerry, my good buddy Jerry, who has these crazy books called Coffee Brewed with a Graveyard Mist. If you're in there, this is nothing like your book, by the way, Joey. You have a book.
Yeah, I do. Yeah.
It's called From Para to Dakar.
That's it.
And you can get it on Amazon.
Yep.
And it's probably I've not read it. I
actually bought a couple here. And so I'm going to give you one after the show. So,
awesome.
So you got one.
I can put it up on the show like I do at Jerry.
Yeah, there we go.
You know
I'll pull it out now.
You know what Jerry does? Jerry takes me for doing this. My payment for this is Jerry sneaks us into the go-kart track. It's not even his. It's Gene's go-kart track. Sneaks in there just to go down there and smoke me. Yeah. That's
and that's also painful.
I'm not competitive at all.
I believe so.
Especially like on four wheels because I really suck at it. So Joe Bummy has a question for us. We always get to our questions here on Tech Talk Taco Tuesday. He says he's going from a 2003 KTM 525 to a 25 500 Champ Edition. I have no idea what kind of bikes those are. They're probably like, I'm just going to guess they're orange. But anyways, but don't worry, my 525 will always be the main steed depending on how good the Champ is. No, you're going to take the 525 and you're probably going to ride it off a cliff.
Yeah.
Because actually, I just sold a 2003 525.
I heard that on your last show that you were.
I sold the bike.
You were keeping it for a prolonged period of time, if I recall.
Well, it was
on a stand that no
just
longer worked.
It was on a stand. It was up on the stand so long. The stand didn't work, and then he's
the stand of good intentions.
Believe it or not, he's the son of the guy who let me do this podcast in his Mexican restaurant, and he was a little kid back then. But he kind of knows that. He calls me up. He goes, "Hey, you got any motorcycles to sell?" Yeah, come on by. Everything's for sale. Anything you want to buy. And he looked up at that one. He said, "Is that one for sale?" And I'm like, "Yeah, it hasn't moved for a long time, but yeah, it's for sale."
Yeah, there you go.
And, so I got it started, and it's gone.
Oh, good for you, man.
And Joe has another question. He says the 2020 Husky 501 with 4,700 miles for $8,800, or a 25 Champ Edition for $13,000 out the door. What would you do? Anthony, that's a question for you.
I'd buy the cheaper bike.
You'd buy the cheaper bike.
I would pull my kids out of college and get the 25.
I haven't ridden the new generation anyway.
I would, and I'm not saying this because Yamaha is a sponsor of the show. I would I would not look at either of those two bikes. I would go down to my local Yamaha dealer, and I would be looking at a WR450. I think is what I would do. Yamaha.com. Just go there. Search WR450 on the internets. Go to the Yamaha website. Click on the link that says Find Your Dealer. Do that, and then tell them Jimmy at Dirt Bike Test said this is way better than a 2020 Husky 501 for 8,000 or a 25
Man,
champ.
I don't know if
for
the dealers
13.
are going to be able to handle that, because you imagine all millions of your viewers now going and doing that. How are they going to handle
30,
that?
33 million.
That's
33
I was
million
going to
on the
say, man,
spot.
these guys
Yeah.
are going to be swamped. They're going to run out of
It's
stock.
because most of them already have like 2 or 3 Yamahas already. So
Yeah.
we're asking them to buy their third, fourth, or fifth Yamaha.
So Joe, in all honesty, you have a 525. It's funny. I kind of go take deep dives in these. I don't just kind of read it on the surface
Okay.
and try to figure this stuff out. 5,000 miles that's a 100-hour bike, right?
Average speed, 40 miles an hour.
Yeah. So at 8,800, no, that's a high price for that bike. I mean, so I'm just kind of doing some of
5
the
years
math.
old as well, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I don't care about 5 years old, but it's just I'm starting to think about the hours, so I'm kind of going into like 13 out the door, which is what the new bikes are going for, aren't they?
Yeah, currently.
Yeah, that's
Well, 125 hours on that bike.
yeah, 125 is what Taco Mike just did the math. But hey, maybe he has a lot of Taco Moto mods on that 2020, and it goes way faster, which means it has less hours.
Well, then it's a deal.
We can revisit that bike later.
Yeah. So, okay. Hey Joe, thanks for chiming in with a question.
He
We
put as many thumbs up as he's gonna buy Yamahas.
Yamaha. He'll go down and come out with, like any smart person would do, a YZ125,
Yep.
a WR450, or maybe a 450 FX, one of those two, and a Tenere. And for, I'm sure you can get all those for 8,900 out the door. So, okay. That's it. Hey, Anthony, I'm gonna relieve you of your post.
Excellent. Okay.
Yeah, you don't have to sit there and just smile and look good and get the ratings up with your handsome electric bike looks. Did you text all of your electric bike friends? Are they part of the millions that are on here?
I don't think so.
They didn't want to hear me be mean to electric bikes today?
They're getting tired of me just only posting dirt bike tests now.
Okay. Oh, you're one of those guys.
No, I gotta wait a little bit.
Yeah. So we went live on Instagram a few minutes ago to let people know that we were out here.
Cool.
Doing this, and Taco Mike disappeared right when I was gonna bring him onto the show. Just kind of like what he did when I told that one guy that he was gonna get a Taco Moto gift certificate.
I'll come back because I have a question for Joey.
Okay.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
So, with your injury, how much? Maybe it's neither of these, but how much do you feel like it's something that pushes you forward, something that motivates you, versus something that you have to like overcome?
Yeah. Well, I think it was one of those where in that hospital, I made a decision that it would be the thing that pushed me forward.
Okay.
And so it became the motivating factor. And I mean, you'll be able to agree with me with this, is that when you get to that start line of Dakar, you got to have a pretty good reason why you want to get to the finish, because you are second guessing why you are there every second of every day. And I mean, like, I was hit by that car, but previously in that race, I saw a quad bike guy that went down a freaking cliff, and he was getting airlifted out, and it was horrendous. And then I saw another guy who had a head-on collision with what was his name? I think it might have been Peter Hansel, but he was leading Moto at the time, if I remember. And he'd had a head-on collision, and I got onto the scene before the paramedics, and his bone was coming through the skin. And so you're exposed to all this sort of stuff all the time, and you're like, what am I doing here, man? This is crazy. So for me, I turned, like, in my head, I turned that, like, challenge into the why. And that became, like, the reason that pushed me, if that makes sense. But don't get me wrong, I'm not like always super positive and stuff. There's some times where it's like, it's hard, man. I'll have days where, every now and again, where you start feeling sorry for yourself, and I'm dealing with, UTIs and challenges with catheters and all this sort of stuff, and you're just like, and my buddies might be like kicking a ball around or something, and I can't run and jump and do that sort of stuff, and it's like at a family picnic or something, and it's like, it's hard, and you start to feel sorry for yourself, but that's like a spiral staircase going down, and you take the first couple steps, and you're like, I know where the staircase leads. Let's get off it, and so that would be the best way to explain. That was a cool question. Thank you.
Yeah, and it's like anything, like the momentum of it. Like you say, the spiral staircase is a good thing to think about. It's a lot easier to roll down.
Oh yeah.
And then as you're going down, a lot of doors open up that make it easier. The staircase can get really steep really quick, and you don't want to. You just got to go. it's a lot better if I work hard just to go up one.
That's it.
Little
yeah.
one
Get
more
off the staircase.
one
man.
more
Yeah, yeah.
one more step. So as you're walking around, in here moving around and everything, I do not notice anything.
Oh, good.
You you look like you're moving around quite normally.
Okay.
Like that do you have to modify anything you do with like riding the bike and stuff?
I don't modify anything on the bike because I have a couple of bikes, and so it would be easier to have a back brake on my hand for sure because my feet are not great, but I can do it enough, and so I don't modify any of the bikes or anything like that. The challenge that I have is getting on and off a bike, being able to swing a leg over, and especially when I'm tired. And so, getting on and off the bike is probably the hardest part. But riding wise, it's all right. But I used to really love like enduro and like more towards the hard enduro stuff. And now that's really difficult for me because that's a lot more legs and pivoting and that kind of stuff.
Right.
And so actually doing the rally stuff, which is what is perceived as like more dangerous and faster, actually suits my injury better.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
No, totally.
Yeah.
And you get that little bit of momentum.
That's it. Your feet stay on the pegs most of the time, and
you hope so.
you
In
in theory.
Yeah, in theory, exactly. So, okay, well, Anthony, now I'm kicking you off, and I'm bringing in Taco Mike.
Anthony,
another guy in a blue shirt.
There. Can you just grab my bag and I'll grab that book out?
Yeah. Oh, we're gonna get. You know what else you can do, Anthony, while you're here is we were sponsored. These, you probably shouldn't do these. They're bad. So this is illegal. It's an illegal mezcal.
You're not over 21, bro.
This is actually
My hairline would say otherwise.
I'd say both of you guys are questionable.
I don't know
For a lot of reasons.
Yeah, and then we have this agua miel. These are from one of our viewers who I'm sure completely legally imported these into the States and had
All
his
the
buddy
taxes and duties.
go down to the post
the tariff
office
on
and send me this candy.
Birthday gift.
Yeah, it was a birthday gift. So it's I'm gonna have a little snap of it here. Pass it over here. We had a series going on before where we were polishing off my empty bottles, which it's good we're not doing that again. Okay, here's the book. Got the book here. So this is Joey's book. So from Para to Dakar, and you can get this on Amazon. It's the best place, and it's an audiobook too, right?
Yeah, that's it. And I read it myself, so you get this special South African accent,
And it's thicker than Jerry's book, so you know what they say about the thicker book, right? So good on us. Taco Mike, welcome
Hey,
to
what's
Tech
up,
Talk Taco Tuesday.
What's up, Jimmy?
I had Tech Talk Taco Tuesday before you had
It's-
Taco Moto.
It's true. You beat me
Just-
by
Just like to
like about
throw
6
that down.
months. You
I'm going to try to tell you which one this is, by the way. Go ahead.
You gonna do a blind test here? You and I both started our deals within about 6 months of each other. I remember when you started Tech Talk Taco Tuesday, and I thought, oh crap, the name Taco is done. I just
I
felt,
would ruin it.
I just felt like no, the other way around. I just felt like it's probably over. I'll have to pick something else, and then I went for it, and look where we are today. You're the bigger man. You got the bigger show. I heard there was 3 million viewers on this.
Does mine get better ratings than do you do a podcast?
Well, no. I have done.
Why not?
I don't know. Add it to the list of things I don't do. I did a couple during COVID. I did a couple of like YouTube not call-in shows, but just like little interview programs. They're buried way deep in our channel.
Hang 5, because that's how I realized who you were. That's why I made contact with you from those videos.
From one of the
Okay.
videos.
Yeah. So don't knock them too hard.
And
Well-
you never saw my show.
They were great people. I
Oh
talked
no,
to some really cool
everybody
people.
I mean, that's where a lot of your viewers are from in Africa. I mean, you're huge there.
I'm big.
Huge.
I was
Yeah.
big. I was big in
in
Australia.
Namibia. Those guys.
But then I disputed the fact that the water spins the opposite direction.
Yeah.
And then
they shut
and
you
then-
down.
No, I was really big in Canada too. But then I called them out because they all live underground.
Is Canada one of your provinces up there?
Yeah, it's
I don't know.
No, we
Sorry.
haven't bought it yet. But when we buy it,
Oh, it's next to Greenland.
when
You-
we
I-
bought when
so say.
I think we already own that. But when we buy Canada, then they can all
When
come
we
up
invade
live
it.
out of ground. Yeah,
Yeah.
it'll be nice. But they love motorcycles up there, and they're the nicest people. Yeah, so I like.
we have a lot of customers in Canada. A lot. They're very big moto heads up there.
Yeah, they only get to ride for like 2 weeks out of the
Oh,
year.
I
but
got-
man, when
But
they do it, they do
intense.
it.
Yeah, I got to ride in Canada a couple of years ago with a mate of mine, Matt Sutherland, and it
I know that dude.
was amazing. Canada was super cool. Love
Hey,
Canada.
someone said, has Joey participated in any KTM Adventure Rider rallies in Canada?
I haven't. I did that ride with Matt, which was amazing. It was in the Chilcotin Mountains, if I remember, British Columbia. But I've done a lot of KTM Adventure rallies. I've done, Australia, New Zealand, a bunch in Europe, a whole bunch in Southern Africa. I'm at the Colorado one next week, which I'm looking forward to. But I've never done one in Canada. So if the guys want to invite me to that one, would be amazing.
There's some
Amazing.
big Canada guys here on that watch the
that'd
show.
be cool.
So I know they do a couple of those things. I stood on the Canadian border like a couple weeks ago, but I didn't have my passport
Did
with
you yell
me.
across?
No, I thought they were gonna come out of the ground and
Shake
just
your
they
fist.
would just come out like those crazy movies where they do it. But there was a lot of signs telling me
To go home.
to not go into Canada, but there were no signs that told them not
On
to come
our
here.
sides and get lost. huh?
Yeah, it was a frontier border. There was no people there. There's a lot of cameras on the.
We don't have a
American
fence
side.
there.
No fence.
Oh, we need to get on that.
I heard they built a fence to try and keep you guys in because you keep trying to go to the border
away.
countries. That's what I heard. That's what they say in Africa. I don't know.
Get the health care.
Yeah,
Get the help.
there's a lot of.
I'm not going to go into all of that. Sorry.
Yeah. Oh, we never talk about politics. We don't talk about racing. We just talked about.
We don't talk about Jimmy,
racing.
racing, politics.
Unless it's
Tequila.
unless it's my views or my races or whatever, and then it's whatever. So, well, anyways, Taco Mike, welcome to the show.
Thanks, Jimmy.
So you're 257 episodes deep in being Taco Moto.
So, yeah, maybe
Sure.
a few less, because you started first. We'd have to do the math and see how many years you've been doing this. It's probably so Taco Moto's been around 6 years. We're in our 6th year, so you've been doing this for six plus years.
I guess. Well, Logan was like this
A little
tall.
kid,
like
and now 13, and now he's 19.
He's like
20.
mute. He was like a young mute child, and now look at him. He's
Yeah.
like a door salesman. So Road Racer's giving us Canadian flags.
Hey.
Yeah. So awesome. If you are out there in the chat and you do have a question for us, especially if you have some kind of weird KTM, I want to modify my KTM, and you want to get me and Mike fighting about ECUs and reeds inside the intake track.
We agree on a lot of that.
Prop it up in the
Go
in the
back
comments.
up though on that bike where the guy was saying $8,800 or whatever
Yeah.
it was. Okay,
2003.
Yeah, so a couple of things here. There's some flawed. The supposition of his question is a little bit flawed. So he says, "What would you do?" As if this is a logical decision to make. Here's the thing: nothing about riding dirt bikes is logical.
Ever.
You cannot apply sort of like the calculated metric to this. It's all about which motorcycle revs him, which one moves him. If it's spending the money to get the other bike, and it's not a question of dollars for this rider, then get the flashier bike. Get the one that like moves you the most. As far as the 8,000 for the 4,700 miles, that's probably a 125-hour bike, which if it's a 501 that's been maintained and the owner has good records and he can make a determination, he can ascertain that that's a well cared for bike. That could be an 800-hour top-end bike and a 1,500-hour bottom-end bike.
Yeah.
So at 125 hours, you could argue this thing needs an injector cleaning. It needs probably an intake fuel filter.
If it was one of my bikes, it would need nothing. And that means that it was a stock piston and a stock crank and a stock.
Sure. Chassis service, and maybe that bike's got a ton more hours on it. So I would not be intimidated by a 125-hour bike. I wouldn't.
It's fun, kind of funny.
That's barely broken in.
So my buddy Jim, who was a coach at my schools and helped me out and stuff like that, he puts about 500 hours on his 5,000 miles on his bikes, and then he just kind of leaves them here. He did this twice now. He just kind of left. He would go home
a great friend to have.
for the weekend. He just kind of
gonna
left
say.
his bike there, sort of expecting that at some point he could manage to get a certain amount of money out of me for that particular bike. And then he'd go, "Hey Jimmy, I went to the store to get a."
So it's like a subtle sale.
I my air filter was like I needed to get a spare air filter, and I came home with a whole new motorcycle attached to that air filter.
Right? Yes.
You got to charge him rent just to park it here.
I did. I made sure he felt the pain of the resale value going down for every minute it sat here.
Let him know he's alive.
Well, the first one I bought, we were actually out rally training, and I grenaded one of my bikes. My bike blew up, and I think it blew up towing one of Andrew Short's bike. I don't know. It was bad. It was a bad thing, and his Yamaha grenaded, and I said, "Hey Jim, can I ride your bike? Because I wanted to ride with the guys. I wanted to ride back in." And I rode his bike, and I had a big old crash. It was just dumb.
Crashed your buddy's bike. You own it.
Yeah, he kind of never let me live that down. And then that bike, he took it home, and it was bent pretty good. Like when the triple clamps get that ting in them and they don't really come out. And so then he just started like leaving the bike around here.
Yeah,
it's like, well, you crashed it, you bought it.
It's yours.
So yeah, how you ended up with new bikes. So if you have any questions, go ahead and throw them up in the chat. If you're listening to this on a forum that like on the podcast thing, I think that's where it goes in your ears. You don't get the visual aspect of looking at two beautiful bald men in front of you right now. You can send us an email. It's my name at my website,
Which is?
dirtbiketest.com.
Can you spell that?
My
in
name?
English?
No, don't spell it the Mexican way.
Is it a him or her? Is it a he, him?
Yeah, with all my things. Chris Alamangos. This guy's an Australian.
Oh, you can tell
He's
by
a proper Australian. Yeah. We used to, it's probably not very nice, but we used to refer to him and his brother as the Wogs. Workers on government. Anyways, Mr. Jimmy, have you tried those carburetor splitters? I want to put one on a YZ125 because the Texas forest is extremely tight. What is a carburetor splitter?
You know, you're old school. You know what that is.
Is it
An air splitter?
It's the vane that goes in the back.
Yeah, sure.
Yes.
In the intake airbox.
But now we need to deep dive this. Is he talking about is it a dual split with the corkscrew? Is he talking about a quad? Is it a torque wing? Like this leaves way too much.
So generally, the popular ones were just a single vane that slid back into the back of the carburetor boot, and it was just a single vane that went across, and so it basically would
stop turbulence.
There was different angles on it and stuff. There were like you said, there were so many different ones, and I remember I tested some different angles for one of the guys that was building them, and it made a big difference.
Yeah.
Because it and especially when
down low, right?
Well, when bikes were bogging, it was mostly for when you would land, and the bikes would bog. It was more Moto thing back then. I was one of the dumb people that actually like raced 125s off road, and I rode a KTM, and my KTM's even when I had Yamahas, I was putting big flywheels on them, so. I got my jetting right, and I didn't need that. But on the motocross track, for sure, if you could not bog when you landed off the jump, and some of that was the floats doing some stuff, and there was getting a suction because you'd go up to negative, you'd go to negative G forces.
You get weightless, and the oxygen would thin out up there.
No, then the gas would spill up into the overflows. And then
get rich.
It would start to suction because the tubes would go down.
Okay.
And it would actually cause kind of a suction until that gas floated down. And by the time, if you were in a big jump, like when you finally landed, there was enough gas to where it would splash, and then it would.
You'd catch your bug. You'd go rich right there.
No, you go lean.
You wouldn't get all that fuel that would come up out of the jets.
Well, so much of it went out of the carb.
We're gonna have to put those math diagrams on the.
Yeah.
When you edit, you're gonna have to just have like algebra floating behind us.
Well, it was like actually a lean bog, and then because the gas is all aerated, and then it kind of comes down all of a sudden, then there's not pure gas going, and then that's why they started building those really good covers that kind of isolated the main jet inside of there.
Okay.
And but yeah, all kinds of crazy stuff.
The kids have no idea what you're talking about.
No, now you just
you lost them at carb.
Yeah.
You get an app on your phone, like on your Yamaha, by the way. Yamaha, a fine sponsor of the show, they have the Power Tuner app. So
There
you
we go.
never have to put your fingers inside of a carburetor again. You just go on your phone like I'm doing right now.
Beep, boop, boop,
You
beep,
push
boop,
on
boop,
the
beep, boop,
Yamaha app, which comes in right here like this. Look at that. Yeah, it's like the monkey crow. There's the Yamaha app, and I want to get a good map for my WR450. Here it is right here. It's trying to connect to my bike right now, but it can't because my bike's not in here. So I just click on this, and I get my super awesome map, and you could have that too. You can have this app. It's for free, and then you have to tune a carb. So, Chris, hopefully I answered your carb tuning question with my Yamaha ad.
So he wants to know if you should get one. You're not going to lose anything because they're cheap. You could probably find them used, and so try it. It's one of those things where if you find any benefit from it, go for it. If not, there's placebo gains that might be had, and who's to say his bike doesn't run better with it?
It definitely, it doesn't hurt. Let's put it this way. I
don't think it will.
I've never had one that hurt, but you might have to do a little bit of a jetting to make it work proper. And but if your Texas Force is extremely tight, I say flywheel weight. And then
Gearing and flywheel
MX
weight,
Beans says, thoughts on the new Ducati 450? I like it.
I have thoughts right away. So it uses a GET and Athena GET ECU, which is the same platform that Yamaha uses for their tuner app.
Right.
And so
so does Triumph.
And so does Triumph. So you can get a GET OEM ECU in your Ducati 450 or your Triumph 250 or 450. I think there's a lot of value there.
Yeah, I'd like to ride the new Ducati 450. I mean, one of the Ducati street bikes back in the day, what was it called? It was my favorite street bike for a long time. It was the Ducati Monster. The old air-cooled Ducati Monster was such a fun, just raw, kind of naked street bike. And
maybe Mr. Ducati is listening and he's watching.
well, I should have. I have some contacts there because when Alexander Smith rode the Ducati at the Nora 1000 last year, he rode
that bike?
No, he rode the Rally, the
Oh.
950? Desert X. What is that? A 950? 1000? Yeah. So there was a lot of the Ducati guys there. That was kind of a big deal for them. He finished right behind your buddy Matt Sutherland.
Ah, nice.
Yeah. Second overall on a Ducati.
A big bike.
Desert X.
Sure.
But yeah, I haven't been reaching out to ride all the newest, latest, greatest stuff. It's sort of, I gotta test those SSRs, and then this Can-Am.
We went from
electric
Ducati
bike.
to SSR, so yin and yang.
Wide range.
And
people always wonder, how do you know so much shit?
How do you know so much?
Because I ride a lot of this stuff.
Do you test all the equipment?
But my brains is filled up.
And then whatever's at the bottom is just dropping off.
My brains is filled up, and there's not a lot of room for more informations. And so I try to like spit it out onto the internet, and then it's recorded, and then I can forget it. Kind of like this whole show.
Okay, yeah, I've already
Nothing
forgotten.
against you.
I don't even know where I am. Well, you have the liquid cerebral lubrication formula over there that I see in those
I need
bottles.
another one.
Okay, ding ding.
I'd like
No,
to try.
thank you.
That was, I'm pretty sure that was that the illegal? Or was it it was that one? Yeah. Okay, let's try the other one. Yeah.
So interesting that Ducati is coming out with their dirt bike. Here's what this speaks to. You've got Triumph and Ducati entering the market. And so there clearly are manufacturers who are willing to put a lot of R&D and a lot of resources into the dirt bike segment. And I think that what they're really doing is they're getting entrance into the dual sport segment. So this is where they open the door. I think this is where they're going, is into dual sport, because the only real growth market, significant growth market in two-wheeling is in the ADV dual sport segment. And so they've seen that for years. You know, these guys are smart. These men and women went to college. They know how to read spreadsheets. And so they, a few years ago, saw the sales numbers, and then they want a piece of that. So they first have to gain entrance into the motocross bikes, which they're doing, and they're having some
because they both have ADV bikes.
They have ADV, but
And
yes,
guess who?
but they need
So
smaller,
I'm
smaller class
gonna
machines.
agree with you on one thing, and then I'm gonna kind of go away from it too. I'm gonna agree with you on the fact that they see, you know, their ADV bikes aren't performing as well in numbers as the KTM ones.
Right.
And guess what? KTM is graduating a lot of old dudes that have a lot of KTM experience now into the adventure market. You're in the thing, and it's like, hey, what's that like? Oh, I know this guy that rode one. They have fun when they go. It's kind of more of a community thing. It's different. We're not racing anymore, but we're going there. And I think that some of the other brands, like BMW, just gave away the ADV market. in my
100%.
opinion.
I agree with that.
They owned it. There was when I started. Back when I walked in the snow.
Tell us, Grandpa. Tell us.
Yeah, when I
Here we
started,
go.
I raced for BMW back before ADV was a thing. It wasn't. I was riding a BMW twin cylinder bike, and they didn't even call it adventure bike. It was just there was stupid guys that were going to ride BMW twin cylinder bikes in the dirt, and they were generally going to go ride across the Darien Gap just like Helge Peterson did, and it wasn't called adventure at the time. It was just like big giant huge ass dual sport. You
Well,
know?
GS, like what is GS in German? It's like
Geländeschlange.
dual road. It's like dual terrain.
Yeah.
Pavement and off road. Mm-hmm. Jimmy was basically what he's basically admitting to is he was cool before there was a definition of the word cool. Like we all understand that.
Okay, I'll say I wasn't cool. I just went
Created
riding.
the market, created the trend.
No, I just thought it was kind of fun to ride something different. I signed my BMW contract to race that twin cylinder bike.
Yeah.
Before I'd ever ridden the bike. I took
That's a risk.
well, it was good money. I took
Like this show.
I took it's all about this show is all about the millions of dollars that come in from this show. The revenue,
Yes.
like all the other
Flowing in from Africa and
all
Australia.
the other YouTube creators are so blown away by how much money we can make. They're like, how do you do it? And I'm like, I'm not going to tell you my secret.
No.
But I went and we had a GS in the shop at Cycle World magazine, and I went and took it and I rode it because that's what the bike was kind of going to be based off. They didn't even they'd ridden a prototype, but actually when I went over when the first time I went over, they did a tryout. I went over and rode the single cylinder bike, but it was for a magazine article, but it was a tryout. I didn't know it was a tryout. But when I
Their failed dirt bike project, is that what that was?
No, the single cylinder, the F650, the one that won Dakar 5 times.
The 650. Okay.
Yeah.
I thought you were talking about their 450.
The 450.
Yeah.
That's a whole nother.
Okay,
Hey,
that's a whole
if
nother
anybody
story.
wants a BMW 450, I know where to get one. I know a guy that's selling one.
Yeah.
A cherry one, low
Okay.
mileage. That's an interesting bike too.
One of the few only running ones in the world.
Motor
probably.
spins backwards, counter shafts on the swing arm pivot, all this stuff. So, but back to the original story, I rode the stock GS around. I'm like, well, here we go. I tried to ride it in the dirt, and it had the small front wheel on it, the 17-inch front wheel or 19-inch front wheel, and I'm like, we'll see what this is. But when I went over to ride that single cylinder bike, all the guys in the team, which I knew from racing, they're like, "Hey Jimmy, you ride the Boxer. You ride the Boxer." And I didn't know what they were talking about because I didn't even know it was called the Boxer. That was the engine. This is how naive I'm. Just a dirt bike guy. I don't know the BMW culture, and then I started hearing stories about when they were testing at the wheel because it's single-sided swing arm, much like that Can-Am that we're riding today. Single-sided swing arm, the wheel had come off a couple times and passed the rider. Whether
Holy
the bolt
crap.
sheared off or it got loose, but all this crazy stuff. That whole category didn't exist, and this is before KTM had a twin cylinder or anything.
Yes.
And it's just funny to see where that has gone because they're, sport touring motorcycles don't exist. Like now everybody rides. You see,
Like sport touring, like Concours, Kawasaki Concours was a bike.
the Honda STs, and it's like
ST
smaller than Gold Wings, But bikes meant to go fast, long distances. Yamaha FJs, these bikes.
They ended with FJ 1300. That was an amazing bike.
Yeah. Remember the GTS?
VF 1100, the Honda V65 Sabre. I had a V65 Sabre with saddlebags on it and a fairing. Amazing bike.
Crazy, all this stuff. So you kind of roll forward, and now you see groups of motorcycles going down, and it's Harleys or adventure bikes.
Yeah, it's true.
Every once in a while, you'll see some Gold
It's either
Wings.
one.
Yeah, and what really confuses me is when you see Harleys and adventure bikes riding in the same pack.
They should be fighting. They should be
Yeah. They should, it should be jousting or something like that. Where are they going?
Yeah, where are they all going together?
They're going to a bar that serves coffee.
They're going. They're going the long way, the wrong way. The only reason I ride my adventure bike on the street is to get to better dirt. I use it as an exploring vehicle.
Can I tell you, back in SA, you have like the 890R, and then you got like the 890S, which is like more a street version.
Yes.
For us, we were like, why is there an S? Like, why would you ever buy an S? Everybody buys an R because you've got a lot of dirt roads and that kind of stuff there and off-road, and that's what the guys ride it for. I went and did a talk at the ABR festival in the UK a couple of months ago, and they had 18,000 adventure bike riders there. 18,000 adventure bike riders, and I can tell you now, it was all of those S-type models.
Yeah.
So it's all just geared for road and good dirt road, not the R models, because the guys in those kind of places, they don't have terrain like you have here or we have in South Africa, and so those bikes are massively popular in those countries and a lot of Europe.
Yeah.
But for guys like yourself or guys like us, we're like, you want to ride it off road.
In a lot of the civilized world, like Europe and Canada and certain parts of the United States,
in South Africa,
the civilized world.
Sorry, I misheard the question.
Yeah, it's almost illegal to ride off road.
Yeah, exactly,
right.
and that's the problem.
And especially so, a lot of you think about where these manufacturers are, where BMW is, where KTM is.
Exactly, that's it. Yeah,
Like they're like. When they actually come out here to test those bikes, sometimes like you can ride them here.
Yeah.
like
Anywhere.
You can, which is kind of anywhere. There's like dirt roads everywhere. We have, it's totally legal. It's really strange.
for us as well. You just have to be faster than the cops, and then you can ride anywhere.
So, MX Bean says he's let's see, he hopes the Ducati valve train holds up. It'll be really good. I hear they don't have much low end power. Well, if I rode one, I could tell you, but I haven't heard much because I don't pay attention.
It's a double overhead cam, and so it's very likely to not have a lot of that low end grunt that you're probably going to have on a 500.
Now it's funny you say that. I flashed all of the single overhead cams versus the power characteristics, but no, I think it doesn't matter whether it's single or double. I mean, I think it's easier to rev a double, but it doesn't necessarily mean that it would have better.
You don't think it's a 1-to-1?
No,
Okay.
not on that. And he said, I sold my KTM, got to hair for a bit there.
Maybe he got hair transplants with the money from his
Selling the KTM? Yeah, I don't know. Here, I don't know what.
He speaks Australian, so we don't understand.
Do better typing.
Is this the Australian dude?
I don't know, MX Beans?
Or is that Chris?
No,
You
Chris
said one of
sells-
these dudes.
Chris
Chris
is
is
Aussie.
Australian.
Maybe he
yeah.
speaks
Chris is
Canadian, and that's why we can't understand him.
MX Beans.
And sometimes when we get this late in the show, what happens is there's a little bit of a delay because our internets aren't good enough here, and then so the show they're seeing is a little bit behind us, so the questions take a little bit time to catch up. So a lot of times I have to preload the question a little bit, and then we have to drag it on so they can respond to it. So if you want to get into it and respond, so Chris I think he has a couple crazy little daughters that he has to try to control, and he can only sneak little tech talk moments in there. So
Also, our Mr. Beans might be using
Harry.
Harry. Okay, look at
I've
this.
got to hairy for a bit there. So he sold his KTM because the KTM was a bit hairy.
or he got hairy,
No, I think he means hairy as in scary.
scary. Okay.
So as in it got a little bit hairy.
It's possible too. He's using some of the cerebral lubrication fluid as well, and so this is just how it's going to go for the rest of the night.
And by the way, most of Canadian wilderness is crown land. Well, in wilderness, that's with a small W. I hate to use the word wilderness ever when we're talking about off-roading, just because wilderness here,
Suppose
they try to shove it down your throat
Yeah.
and make you think it's good. Wilderness means no motorized and no mechanized.
Suppose we transpose that to off-road or outback.
Most of-
of
yeah,
the
Canadian bush.
outback
Yeah.
bush, it's crown land. So that
And for here we call it public lands.
Yeah.
Crown
Okay,
land
yeah.
would be public lands.
We'd
meaning
call
anyone
it
can use
bushveld.
Yeah, beautiful. Just need gas and a good set of knobby tires.
Nice.
Right on.
maybe we need to
Nice.
go to Canada. Maybe Canada is the promised land.
Canada is cool. I
I was
loved it.
right there. I was right at the border, and I didn't go. I almost went across, but I started thinking like, is it gonna be weird that I go across for like 2 hours just to get an ice cream? I might be running something across the border.
Their ice,
Canadian
up there
ice
got
will-
you and brought
Yeah,
you
it'd be
back.
better.
Canadian ice will pick you up, man.
Or all the guys.
Revenge.
They'd come out of the ground right behind me, and they did like, you've been saying mean shit about us, but
Oh, in
we
their
really
camo
like you
suits?
because we're good people, and they hand me some whiskey because they make some good Canadian.
I hope that's what
whiskeys.
happens to you.
Yeah.
And some bacon and maple syrup.
Oh, that too. Okay. So we've answered most. We have quite more questions, Mike. I got some questions here. We have that segment. We call it Rooster Endo.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's brought to you by Takomoto. That's
Happy to do it.
takomoto.co. But I do have a thing here.
We're five. I think we're like a solid 4 maybe years into that.
You just got another question from MX Beans as well.
Is it Michael? Okay, yeah, here it is. So Mike.
Mike me or Mike him?
Mike him.
Mike him.
13 days ago, got back to me.
13.
And he was saying an episode or two after this, I asked some questions in the live chat because my bike kept cutting out. I was finally able to locate the problem, and it was electrical. So I always tell people, like, I do this in the because you allow me to moderate a little bit on the EXC
to good effect,
forum,
and thank you for doing it.
Which I have a short attention span, and then once I see like 9 or 10 comments, unless I kind of want to go down a rabbit hole, I just ignore it because at that point, hopefully the problem's been solved, or it's just
it's a free for all.
It's Billy Bob Big Sprockets going against Joey Beerbelly, 526 Mega Roost, and they're gonna try.
I know that guy. I ride with that guy.
Yeah, they're gonna tell you that.
I'm sorry, Billy Bob.
They're gonna tell you like, oh, you need to run this gas and this oil, and then I don't have time for that. My requirement, and every once in a while I pipe up and I say this in the chat, it's like, when you get the solution, the one that works for you, please put it back in the original
comment.
Go
back into the OP.
Put us out of our misery.
Or comment like,
yes.
All you dick brains that are trying to get me to run your gas and your pipe and your ECU setting and it didn't work. The guy that told me to turn the throttle farther was right. I turned the throttle farther and my bike was way faster. Okay, not to say that I've ever done that, but anyways, so I'm saying, so Mike said I was finally able to locate the problem, and it was electrical. One of the yellow wires from the stator had loosened up in the bullet connector.
Yeah.
This made the connection get really hot, and resistance equals heat,
burned it out,
and it melted through the bullet connector insulation and onto one of the stop switch wires.
Oh, that's a good one. So his bike was in a constant. It was grounding out, and it was shutting down
it
the
heated
ECU.
up, melted, and
that's a good one.
Yeah, and I'll tell you, if there's and I don't like to say bad things about KTM's all the time, which it seems like I do because Yamaha is a sponsor.
Because he's not sponsored by
show.
KTM. Yeah.
They used to help us out, but I don't care. If you have a bad thing about a Yamaha, I'll say it too, because we want to come to the answer. KTM wires are shit.
They have had that reputation.
Yeah, they
earned.
They like to put the smallest wires on the bikes. Most of the time, it's okay until the bike starts getting old.
It's about weight, right?
And they're saving weight, and you guys all want a low scale weight, so they're going to put a tiny wire on it. And if that wire gets pinched, it slips down and goes between the triple clamp stop. If it just from years of use folds and cracks, you're going to have a wiring harness problem. And most of the electrical issues are really simple if you know how to trace them down and figure it out. But so it's the thing. So this
I say a piece?
I've never seen it do the bullet connector. I melt there. It's always been a couple little. It's always at the headset, where they kind of
the wires break and fray at the headset. Can I say a quick piece about the electrical?
Okay.
Having talked to many KTM factory mechanics, a lot of these race teams will change a complete harness, a couple of times a season.
Yes.
Because a KTM harness is built for weight savings, economy, it's built for value, and a harness on a KTM product, on a dirt bike product, we're not talking about like a proper ADV street bike.
Right. We're talking about the competition dirt bikes.
Specifically, competition and enduro-style dirt bikes.
But EXCs also.
Including that. So let's call it like the 125 to the 501 class bikes. Those wire harnesses are thought to be, or they're treated as if they're a maintenance item. And so when you have a bike that has a 5-year-old harness, that harness, I preach electrical system maintenance. It's a thing. It's a much overlooked and much ignored thing. But that harness should probably, at about 5 years, if you have a 5-year-old bike, that harness should probably come out of your bike.
What year does that mean all of my bikes are 5 years old? No, and I've replaced a couple wiring harnesses. There's one that's really cheap, and that's the one that goes to all the lights and stuff.
The
like
lighting harness is the aux harness.
Which I rarely replace anymore because I don't, I just kind of do it. But that one that goes from the ECU to the
main
to
harness.
to the main harness.
You know what I'm talking about.
That's really expensive.
It can be. It can be up to $400.
$400, yeah. But I will spend the time to chase those little fuckers down.
Yes.
Excuse my French.
So things like ACF 50 on your wire connectors, on all those connector pins, doing drag pin tests. So I have a video that talks about like electrical system harness is a real thing. Maintenance is a real thing, and replacement is a real thing. So
Okay, so where do they go to find this?
on our YouTubes, on the Takamoto YouTube channel. Yeah,
Oh, you have one?
supposedly. Yeah, I have.
Send me a link to that, and I'll
I
put
have
it in the
a
description for this thing.
1/1000th sub rate of like, I don't know,
You-
Shakira.
You don't have
or-
25 million?
Who are the kids following these days? I have no
Hey,
idea.
make sure, like I said in the beginning of the show, make sure you go into your wife and your children's accounts and subscribe them to Dirt Bike Test.
To your
Because
channel
I don't
and our channel.
say that many bad words, and the words I hear that they can figure it out and they'll learn not to say them. Okay, so this is the important part of Mike's question.
Okay, ignore all the words.
Also, I have not seen anything from Takamoto yet for that episode of Rooster Endo. I got an additional bike, a Husqvarna FC350,
Okay.
shortly after that episode, and I crashed and got all banged up. Hence the delay in doing the repair to the Husaberg.
Wait, how did what?
Maybe a new one will end up on Rooster Endo one day. Well,
I see two problems here. First of all, Takamoto is standing this guy up.
this is like
Problem number
every
one.
question. He can't. He should have. Like, I've not seen it from
We're all
Takamoto.
over the place.
You should say Mike is a squirrel, and he didn't send me the money that he owed me. He didn't tell me what episode, but
This guy's 350 is on blocks because I haven't sent him his card yet. This is
I think he crashed into his head, and
This
then
is
he
terrible.
can't even write a proper sentence to tell us what he wants us to do. So, again,
But somehow there's a Phantom Husaberg that came into this, and I lost the script here on this.
So, I think what he's trying to do, he's trying to make everybody happy. He says Husaberg, which on this show is like, it's like, I got to think.
An angel got his wings.
Did Mike show you my Husabergs in the shop?
No.
No, we'll visit.
You know I have a 650.
Okay.
I mean, the 570s make a lot of power. I mean, like you twist the throttle on a 570, like it
You
pulls
feel
back.
it.
Like, but the 650, that's single cylinder, like torque twisting euphoria. It's like most people
Here we
will
go.
never experience this. Like when I was a child.
You could tune out.
When I was a child,
Get a drink.
I
Go to the bathroom.
wanted to ride a Mako 490 really bad, and I never did. I remember walking up in the shop, and I was
If
standing.
you haven't taken your
and I-
vitamins today.
and I saw the
the
cylinder
time.
fins were right there at eye level, and I'm like, someday I'm gonna ride this. But then they made Husabergs,
Grandpa's talking about Husabergs again.
and I got to ride a Husaberg, and twist the throttle, and it's like nothing else. So you children, and even grown
Are
men.
these those bikes with carbs, Grandpa?
Yeah. The 650 has a carb. And you wonder why the fuel injection is so good on the KTM's. It's because of Husaberg. The
They
570s were the
trying
first
to carb-
fuel injected. They fuel injected the Husabergs before the KTM's because they didn't want to make a big mistake with the
Gotcha, with the
KTM's.
big brand, yeah.
So they did the little brand, and man, they nailed it. Because
Who was first to market with the first injection? Was it Honda with the 450s or was it Husaberg? It was in 07.
no, it was.
Wasn't it in 7?
I
Honda
want to say it was
450.
gas.
Yeah, for real.
Yeah, gas. I think was the first fuel injection.
On like
gas
the
and
little
Cannondale.
on the little
On the
like
Trials
450.
bikes?
On the 450.
Gas had a
Gas
450?
and Cannondale.
Interesting.
Were the first
Was
fuel.
it-
And I may be wrong, but that's what I kind of remember
Was it a
because.
Bosch? Do you remember like who it was?
Uh,
It would have been Italian. It would be the
well, I
Male
tell-
Maguri.
it could have been. It could have been. It could have been.
Magla.
Mari.
Yeah, blah, blah.
Give me another one of those.
The
please.
country of Italy. We have
So I can.
on behalf.
Marinelli. Maganelli.
We'd like to apologize
Marinelli.
to the country of Italy and
Yeah.
on behalf of this show.
Well, if I could make fun of them like the Canadians without feeling like they were going to mafia up and shoot me. There was a group of guys.
Hang on.
There was a group of guys. No, hang on. There was a group of guys that they sent this picture in, right here. This guy sent his Rooster Endo in.
Yeah.
And he sent his group of his mob of guys.
That's a lot of
and
dudes.
He said if he didn't win Rooster Endo,
There's
he
some
was gonna.
surly dudes.
This guy was the guy with his bike, and here's his guys, and he's like, he didn't really
That
say
group
it.
is trouble.
I mean, I made most of it up, but he's like, these guys gonna roll you.
Yeah. Do the sheriffs in this town know that they're there?
I don't know if if you're not watching this on YouTube right now, you're missing out on this mob of guys that want to mug Jimmy Lewis right now.
These guys.
They're in the forest there, and one of them looked like he had a spade.
Yeah. So, okay. I got to figure out where my
Is one
screen
of those guys Mike? Is this Mike one of them?
It might be. I don't know.
Holy crap.
Yeah. So anyways,
You better get that out to him, man.
if you're watching the show, Mike, send me another email and then I'll resend it back in with something, and Taco Mike will take care of you because he doesn't want to get rolled out in the desert.
I'll tell you why I'm dodging this dude, because I blew the marketing budget on these shirts. Look at us, Joey. Move your meat arms away.
you go.
Look at how
I got one too.
Look at the swag here. Like this.
I like my colors better.
This is a significant outlay of the money, the budget, and so Mike, sorry, I had to buy Jimmy a
heavyweight.
shirt.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, they're nice. This is what the kids.
Cannondale.
Yeah.
Cannondale was first at EFI. MX Beans confirmed it because I know he's
The internet says it, so we'll have to believe it.
And Michael Lettner Jr. I'll say this is Michael right here. The Husaberg is still cool. I always get a holy blank. Is that Husaberg when I tank it? Is that a Husaberg? Yeah, you get that. Like, you're special. Yeah, he is watching. He's watching.
Yeah, I believe
he's probably just profiling you to figure out how to come and roll you with his gang of
These homies.
gang of bikers.
Yes.
I like to call them there.
I'm gonna get our top people on it as soon as I get back
I
to
didn't
the
give you my
to the headquarters.
You can just fill up another one. Yeah. You can just pour it in the backside of one of those pistons over there. I'll drink that. I don't care. Okay. So thanks for watching the show. We got to get to Rooster Endo. Rooster Endo brought to you by Taco Moto. That's tacomoto.co. I think we have 2 contestants tonight. So you ding dongs that never send your thing in. Do you realize that how easy it would be to win this? You only have to be better than 2 other guys. So here's how Rooster Endo works. Do you want to explain how Rooster Endo works since you sponsor this? And
this is your kingdom, and I'm a peasant here, so I am not sure
how Rooster
what
Endo
to
works.
say.
So you send us a picture of your bike, and you tell us a little bit about it, and then we read off. You show a picture of your bike, and we discuss your bike. So this is Mike's 2020. No, Brooks.
Mike, so we're not talking about Mike anymore, right?
No, we're done with Mike. But he's
him and his posse. Like, I'm glad to move on.
Hopefully he's gonna send me an email. He'll probably do it like right now. He'll send me an email, and then we'll forward it over to you and say, this is Mike. He got boned on his Rooster Endo win, which I did have somebody try to tell me they won Rooster Endo when they didn't win Rooster Endo.
Oh, cheater.
Yeah. So so we're gonna go to this, and we need to see Brooks.
Dirty.
Brooks's bike. Here's Brooks's bike.
Okay.
This is, and he says, my 2020 Husqvarna FE501. Wasn't that what the guy was asking about with the high mileage?
Yeah.
Same machine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It to be used on the Tour of Idaho T4, and some of your recommendations a few weeks ago. This bike should roost because it's not a KTM 690. And the other bike I was contemplating. Well, if you were thinking about doing Tour of Idaho and you decided not to do KTM 690, that was a very
good
wise
choice.
decision.
Good, smart move.
But he's got the details, and he does restate what it is. It's a 2020 FE501. He said Husqvarna up there because when you start getting these names and numbers, you need to put the brand name, and I like to call them the white ones.
The white KTM.
The white ones, yeah. So thank you, Anthony.
The white and yellow KTM.
He has Cycra hand guards, Acerbis tanks, Acerbis engine guards. What do you think of those Acerbis engine guards?
They're
by the way?
bright. I mean, they're colorful.
Oh, on this bike, yeah.
Yeah.
They
It's
match the Fort guards, though.
Yeah, like it's a big aesthetic choice. Like that's a bold move. That's like you know a woman of a certain age wearing like red, or it's a fashion choice.
Especially when you have
Women of a certain age.
yeah. Especially when you have giant loop Diablo tank bags and giant loop Mojave saddlebags
And they're orange.
of an orange color.
I know. There's a lot going on here.
And the bike has blue hints. Yeah.
Is this a place where you need to be spotted a lot? Like, have you got to try to like? Are you worried you're gonna get lost in a forest and they got to see you from the chopper?
If you're doing Tour of Idaho late season, you're intermingling with the hunters. So yeah, it's probably.
Okay, gotcha. So it's that hunter orange, and then.
Or you could say it looks like a sporting clay. Yeah, sporting clay.
I see what he's up to here.
Fastway foot
Brooks,
pegs.
I'm on to you, bro.
Rockstar suspension. Seat Concepts seat. That's good because Seat Concepts is a big sponsor of this show.
Yeah.
And a Raise ECU. A Raze, a Raise.
And Brockstar, so that must be a local shop in his area, which is cool.
He's a Brockstar. Brock, I think I've done photos with the guy before. He's a climb guy, and he does snow bikes. I think or snow bikes or snow machines.
Okay.
Like he almost killed me in a photo shoot once.
Hey,
I had to go like that.
They tried to jump over you or something? You can't
I
say.
don't know.
The lawyers, you have your NDA is still in force.
We never hit, but it was so close and it was so gnarly. It was sketchy. Well, I think the way that they do snow bike photos and the way we do motorcycle photos are two different things.
Okay.
I mean, he's gnarly on the snow bikes. I'm pretty sure snow bikes are snow machines. But
it feels like you could do a snow bike maneuver and crash and you just land in the snow.
and,
Poof.
and on top of this, because he really wants to win, he says, I love the show. So
And he talked about a
there
Husaberg.
is
So this
extra
guy
points
is
there.
like really squeezing it.
Yeah,
and why not?
He's squeezing. Well, we got a comment here. It says MX Bean says the dude in the blue is funny. Like
Funny looking.
Is that what kind of funny are we talking?
Yeah, all
here?
the funnies.
Okay, so back to the bike. So let me tell you how this works because you didn't know, even though you sponsored the show. I can't believe this.
Shameful.
You should watch it every once.
You should
in a
get
while.
better sponsors.
You should
have better prepared sponsors.
You should go on your wife's and your children's accounts and sign them up as members of Dirt Bike Test or whatever we do here. So the bike.
I don't want the Russian hackers to see the trail back to you.
I firmly believe in the fact that when I'm riding a motorcycle, I'm not looking at it, and you have to look at it. And if it brings pain to you while I'm having
So be it.
fun, then
who cares?
so this bike freaking roosts.
I'm in love with it. I have no problem with any choices on that bike.
There's not one Taco Moto part in his build.
I know, but I love it anyway.
Okay, shows you're not very brand loyal.
I am willing to sacrifice any of my own self-interest to his cool choices. I think he did a good job here. Brooks, high five.
Needs to just maybe top it off with a set of these. There we go.
Double take, another sponsor to show Double Take mirrors.
Oh, he does not have double takes.
Yeah.
That's not the S model, so that's not the street legal model. So that doesn't have turn
You get
signals.
they also
didn't come
make
with
that
mirror clips.
small little mirror that's pretty cool.
Okay, but your answer is Rooster Endo.
Yeah, that's a roost.
Roost?
Yeah, I like
for
it.
sure.
Roost?
I like
Okay.
it. It's a roost.
You know, just because it roosts does not mean that it's going to win. Just so you know.
I'd like to see a heat shield on that header pipe because his pants, because he's probably going to wear over the boot. I would recommend if you're going to do a tour of Idaho, you should have an over the boot pants.
That's super.
And you're going to just shred those on that header pipe.
I want to say, like you saying that he has over the boot pants. That's pretty judgmental.
I think that engine guard, if you think of that bike falling over, that bag at the back's going to stop that engine guard hitting the ground most of the time.
No, so like the header pipe, just right over the the oil filler cap.
Cooler, wouldn't it? Take
You know,
that
it's
guard
funny
off.
because I'm looking at the photo and we're trying to zoom in right now. We're looking closely at this photo.
This is what the NSA does to zoom in the license plates.
So if you're listening to this, we're looking at a Husky with a what color is that?
It's purpley, like it's
Luminous
the
yellow.
yellow. Oh.
No, yellow. It's like
Luminous
it's
high
yellow,
vis.
yeah.
That's
it's
a high vis.
High-vis yellow.
High-vis yellow case cover.
Yeah.
That's even brighter than thing.
But it covers the whole case, like the whole side with
Water
a water
pump.
pump and everything.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
huge.
No, they're good protection.
Yeah.
I have them on my Tenere. And the good thing is they fit so nice. They bolt right on.
Yeah.
Does it look like he ran a grinder or something on that, or a wire wheel on his header, or is he?
I bet he melted his pants on there and he had to use a wire wheel to clean them
like
off.
you said, yeah. Yeah, there's a lot of colors on that bike. Okay, so
Those Cherokee covers, they absorb a lot of energy and they disperse it throughout the cover pretty well.
Spreading the load.
Yeah, they do
I
it.
like
They
to
do
say.
okay.
I had some of those giant loop bags on my bike, and they were cool. They
Yeah.
were good.
I did the tour of Idaho with them and stuff like that. So
The one thing that I would say that becomes controversial and it's not, it's just a false flag, is like that those covers shield the metal, they trap heat into the metal.
Yeah.
That's negligible. That's what your radiator's for. So anybody who would argue in the forums that by throwing on those covers he's gonna retain a lot of heat in his engine,
Not a big
that's
deal.
poppycock, right?
Okay.
I almost
By slight degrees, by like the tiniest of margins.
yeah, it'd be interesting something to test. You know,
We
whether
could-
the bike
we-
cools down quicker. I mean, I used to do this kind of stuff because I would get those kind of questions, and I actually cared, and I would take the time. So our next Rooster Endo participant is Seth. Is this Seth?
Word up, Seth.
Seth.
Waterfall.
And
Is this his bike here?
here's my bike.
This is a 23.
It's a 24.
I mean, sorry, 24. You're right. New
KTM
chassis with the purple.
500 XC
24.
It's an XWF.
XWF, so not a plated bike either.
Yeah. So good that he told me that because I wouldn't know the difference. They all look the same to me. Kind of like people in general. So here's his mods list. True North Moto's dual sport kit. So he went and made it legal.
Because it wasn't originally, yeah.
Right. Muffler screen removed and ECU reflashed. I wonder what illegal activist did that for him. Right? He didn't give us a name. Seat Concepts race seat.
The race one, yeah.
got the ribs
It's got
on
the
it.
ribs. It's ribbed for your speed.
I've been running that on
Move
my
along swiftly.
I've been running that on my 300, and I really like it, especially like in gnarly stuff because it does really hold you on the bike. Bulletproof Designs radiator guards, another fine sponsor of Tech Talk Taco Tuesday. You ever run a bulletproof breakable front?
The wood one.
Yeah.
This is firewood. It's emergency firewood, like on your bike.
Well, it could be a lot of things, but it's a really good. You know, in case you need that thing, hold that thing up there for the screen, if you can see what it is. Let's see, I think you're this one here. That's our.
It's your birchwood front rotor cover.
If you need to start a fire out in the desert, you can use that.
Protect your. It's a shark fin and a kindling.
Might start a fire if your brakes get hot enough.
Oh.
You'd have to bend some things to get that there. Double take trail mirror. See, he took
Good.
this guy.
Ah,
This
there
guy
you go.
took the advice.
There it is.
Oh, he's
Rebel
edging ahead.
X Ultralight Rally fairing.
Yeah.
That's
Is that
cool.
like the
That's
ones you have
frame
the other
mounted.
ones on?
So that's frame mounted.
Okay, gotcha.
Cheap phone running Terra Parata for road books and Caltopo for GPS. So this guy's rally guy.
Okay.
He's got those are deep in the rally weeds words.
I'm gonna take your word for that. 'Cause
Yeah,
that's
no.
all just blah blah to me.
yeah. A 7602 rear disc guard.
Oh, so this is kind of disturbing that he's mixing his brands.
Bulletproof designs and
Yeah.
then going up there.
Yeah.
Tubeless front and rear. Springs for a 220-pound rider. And an Achirby's large gas tank.
Okay.
So he's got a setup there.
It's thought through.
It's purpose built. I like, I forgot to go off on the last guy's photo. Because I think the last guy, his Tim Robinson's photography. Hold on a second, Tim.
That's a
Wait,
great
no, that's a different
picture.
guy.
He's got the background, the lakes in the background, the mountains.
So Seth here. So this is Brooks. Brooks isn't a photographer, but his photo's not bad.
His background
I
could
would-
use some help.
Yeah, a little bit, but it's not too bad. It looks like a good place to go riding. There's that gang of bikers that wants to come
Those
and
thugs.
get me. So we're gonna go back to Seth's bike here. Yeah, Seth's bike's pretty well set up. Does he tell us what kind of tires he's got on that thing? He doesn't, does he?
Leaves a lot out.
Yep. Don't know what kind of tires he's
Told us
running.
about the tubeless, but not about the tires.
Tubeless, yeah, but not the tires. I am a little
Stock suspension. At least he didn't say anything about it.
Yeah, I'm not super sold. Like for that rally build, I would be more into the Moose than I would into the tubeless.
Me too.
Yeah, tubeless is more like slow speed enduro guy that doesn't want to go Moose. But when you start doing like the higher speed stuff, I've had some issues with the, and I think they've gotten a lot better on the tubeless.
Well, the 360s. Have you seen those?
I have not used one yet.
I
I've
have a
seen
set.
It. Yeah.
And so the mechanics of it, like the physics of it, the engineering, I think is really sound. I think it's a big advanced improvement over the 1.0 tubeless.
Yeah, I think the 1.0 tubeless for trail riding was really good. When you started doing dual sport stuff,
Yeah.
I kind of had a couple little issues with it. Like literally on the freeway, riding on the freeway on expansion joints, I think it was just enough twist in the tire to kind of let it leak a little bit slowly.
Like burp some air?
Yeah, burp it out. So I'm gonna give this bike
I'm gonna roost it.
Roost?
I'm gonna roost it.
Roost, yeah. I'm going to go with Roost, other than I want to know who flashed his ECU.
It's not important. Move
that
along.
that could end it. Well, what do you say? Oh, you like it because it's a rally bike.
Oh yeah, I do. And the fact that he's obviously running like a digital road book on that bike's a bike that's going to have some. It's going to have a lot of fun in its future.
Yeah. Okay. So it's a triple Roost for Seth.
Yeah, we're into it. Good job, Seth.
Okay. So our next guy.
Do we have 3 or 2?
We got 3. I
Okay.
said 2 earlier, didn't I?
Yeah.
Okay. So this is Tim
Okay, 501.
Robinson.
That looks like a 23,
I gotta
23
find.
gen.
I gotta find the note here. This is my. No, that's Seth. Wait. Who? Which one of these is? Tim
We had
Robinson.
Brooks.
Is this is Tim Robinson? Right, it is.
Okay.
So, because I turned Brooks off, and then yeah, for sure that's Tim Robinson. Jimmy,
He starts off with a real.
I hope you're well. Oh yeah, some of these guys that like to
Wishing you
talk.
well.
No, he's
They
doing
tell-
good, man.
Yeah, and a little story.
Wishing you well, Governor.
Before I talk about how much I love my husky,
First, let's talk about your
I
Husaberg.
just wanted to say huge thanks for producing your podcast
Oh, this is thick.
and YouTube channel.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
Layering it on.
Okay, shall we even
Jimmy, you're
bother
such
with
a,
the rest?
Yeah, you're
Yeah.
such a humanitarian.
Well, it's like I'm blushing right now. Lucky you can't see me on the screen. Before I talk about, I just wanted to say that.
No, you are too kind.
I'm
How
about
much
to
of
turn,
this have you typed yourself?
Yeah, I was gonna say, why is that in a different font?
I can barely read. I can barely read it so much. I'm about to turn 61 and have had the Husky for almost 2 years, and it's my first ever dirt bike. That's a run-on sentence. You and your guests have taught me so much, and I've come away
But not
having
these
learned
guests.
something new
Other
from
guests.
every podcast. That is honestly,
That's thick.
that's my no. You can.
It's true.
It's true.
It's
That's-
true.
This is the reason.
Jimmy is
I
a
do it.
humanitarian. Jimmy is, by all accounts, is a moto humanitarian, and I stand by that.
You know that in order to do penance, you have to do something wrong. This show is penance. Okay. I didn't get the bike until my early 50s when I bought a Vespa into bikes. I'm doing this correction live, and you thought Logan couldn't read. Early 50s when I bought a Vespa, then I found I like to go further than the beach and cafe, so I bought a Moto Guzzi.
Okay, this is the history lesson
And then I
here.
found I like dirt roads, so I bought a GS 1250 as my wife also wanted to come with me. And then while riding a rental DR 650
He saw the light.
on the dirt back road in the rain up in the Nevada Del Ruz and Columbia with my wife on the back, double run on extra sentence, luggage, I felt I would really like a dirt bike. So here I am, my first dirt bike, a Husky 501.
Good.
Biggest regret is not doing all of this years ago, but better late than never. We now have ridden India, Cambodia, Thailand, Bali, and planning more trips.
On the
Colombia.
501?
He's bragging about
No,
all
he
the
can't
places
because
he's
he's
been.
got these bags. I don't think he's.
Oh, he
got
gets to
capacity.
brag, man. If he starts riding dirt bikes at that age, what a legend.
But
Yeah.
I'm trying to tease out here. Did he do all those countries on the 501, or was this on the GS?
Hold on.
Or was this on the rental
probably
DRZ?
rented.
Maybe he's renting as he
Because normally
goes.
if you're traveling all those different
you're
countries,
renting.
you're renting.
I have all the questions.
This is my Husky. I wanted a weekend bike that was big enough to handle some highway miles and camping gear and small enough to be fun on some easy single and two track.
Yep.
Most mods are for comfort, so I can still walk when I get home on a Sunday night. Front to back.
Okay.
Oh, he's got a
Oh,
method.
he's got a whole list.
Yeah. Golden Tire 723. Good enough for Lyndon Poskett to race, then tour through Asia. So good enough for me.
Sound judgment.
So here's the good thing about that. He's naming the guy that recommended his product, so that guy hopefully gets some cred for recommending a good product. So
He's spreading the love around.
It's like
all
what
over.
people are going to say at all that Yamaha deal is about you.
Taco Moto Tugger.
Made by Tugger Straps, the guys out of Utah.
Good. I was just gonna kind of bring that up.
Yep.
But you Utah guys, you're like a cult, by the way.
Well, I'm a Vegas guy, but the
You're-
Tugger Strap guys are out of Utah, and they have a good product, and we just put some branding on there. Is all.
That's good. They make good stuff. I
Yeah.
run them. ET Racing 110 watt headlight, the brightest I could find, so I can see those kangaroos if I'm caught out at night. Okay, kangaroos in Colombia. True or false?
Man, you're going to
Well,
need
you
a
have
bright
dinosaurs on
headlight
your
to see
desk.
those. In.
So up is down, down is up.
Got it. Mako 360 handlebar damper to reduce the vibes, coupled with a Scott steering damper to save my ass when I'm tired at the end of the day.
Valid.
That's fake news.
That's real
The-
deal.
Nope. Okay. So not to me to pump my sponsors, which Scott's is I've been with Scott's, love their dampers, they're the best ones in the market. I'm also a flex handlebar guy. And what he said here is if he's running a Mako 360 and he's getting tired at the end of the day, it's definitely not the Scott's damper, which will not save you. See where I'm going with this? But if you had flex bars, maybe you wouldn't be tired.
Okay.
Just a little sponsor.
Plug.
Kidding. No, they do definitely reduce the handlebar vibes. And Pro Grip Rally foam grips, that's
Good
a
choice.
pro. Did you run foam grips?
All the time.
All the time,
On
yeah.
all my bikes.
Yeah.
I love those.
Again, to reduce the buzz with some heated grips under them because I still like riding when it's below freezing on a cold
I
morning.
don't know you could fit
In
heats under
Colombia.
that. Jeez.
Maybe he's riding in Canada with those
I don't know. I've never
thugs.
been to Colombia.
Those
so I
hooligans.
can't say.
Oh,
But those foam grips, they look like a kid's bicycle.
people laugh at
But
them.
man, they are
So
the
good.
best,
Yeah,
dude.
for dual sport and rally, for sure.
Exactly. All of
Yeah.
Dakar, no blisters, nothing.
Yeah.
Just
Garmin XT mounted on the Mako for a neat look.
Pro grips are
Okay.
Italian, by the way. Those are made in
Yeah.
Italy.
Hold on a second. We got some comments coming in. How do we enter? Says MX Beans. I really don't use my bikes much anymore, sadly.
He's already lost.
Is Taco Mike sleeping over?
I'm already slept.
Yeah.
I was over here last. I live here now.
Jesse G says, and that giant loop sticker is trash. Mine peeled back in the tank.
Well,
Yeah.
it's
He had a
off ga-
sticker on
you
the
can't
tank.
put a-
You can't put a
you
sticker
can't put
on a
ga-
tank.
a sticker on a gas tank.
yeah. That's why, like, with my rally bike, it's all tanks, and even the decals on there,
This
they have
guy,
the little slits in it, and they
Jesse
don't last.
G, come on.
He should have bought a white or yellow saddlebag. Yeah, this is the bike
That's
we
true.
just did.
Yeah.
Yeah, with the orange one. No, but then the hunters wouldn't see him.
That he needed the high vis.
Yeah, so MX Bean says is a technical question because we don't like to be very linear on this program. We like to be a little,
It's-
bouncy.
Yeah, all over the show.
When
It's
doing
like the Interstellar movie where it's like, are we in the future or the past? Who knows?
yeah, when doing fork seals, do you replace the clips or any hardware? I don't replace the clips. Like those are the rings that hold the seals in. Bushings, depending on the wear level. I mean, bushings will tell you whether they need to be replaced or not. But like the hardware, not really. Just the seals.
Yeah,
Usually.
some of that can last the life of the bike.
Yeah, and he says he knows how to inspect the Teflon bushings and all that. But no, I don't replace the unless I damage them. Sometimes I'm pretty good with the hammer and the screwdriver, so you got to be careful. And Doug Derby says you can't score this guy anything less than maximum.
I'm leaning in that direction too.
Which guy, Doug? I mean, because
It's got to be the last guy.
the
Our
last
current guy
guy.
now.
Yeah.
Okay, our current guy.
Just because he's like, such effort and
There's a lot of effort, but I'm having
older.
what we would call like
You're glazing over.
well, no, he's talking like he's from Colombia. That picture definitely looks like Colombia, but then he's talking about like heated grips and
then kangaroos.
maybe I'm wrong. Maybe they do get snow in Colombia or something like that. But and kangaroos, yeah, that doesn't.
That kind of
are
threw
you with
me. The
here?
kangaroos threw me.
Yeah, Colombian kangaroos.
Wait till
Okay.
he drops a couple of Husaberg references in here.
Oh, then he wins. Chirby's tank for some decent range. Seat concept seat because I rode a DR650 for 5 weeks on a standard seat. And my ass will never be the same again.
TMI.
Well, I think DR650.
Well, we need photos. You can't just take his word.
Well, there's
What kind of show is this?
There's a comment for everybody. Hand Cush driver hub and XL rim to be kind to the drivetrain for the sealed roads.
And that will also decrease engine vibes coming up into the chassis into your hands as well.
Really?
Yeah.
The Cush hub.
Yeah, Cush Hub does a really nice job of like harshing out some of those high frequency driveline pulses. There is a noticeable difference in your hands.
Of all the things that I bitch about, I'm not big on. I guess vibration is low on my list of things that upset me.
Yeah.
Although today, I experienced some vibration, and I rode a bike that had none, and I rode a bike that had a lot, and it was like, wow, okay, that's a thing.
Vibration is such an interesting thing. There's people. It's almost like sound tolerance. You can have people who can hear certain sounds.
And sound
they don't
bugs,
care.
Sound bothers the hell out of me.
And then some people are super sound sensitive, and so that vibration, the high frequency tire, like knobby tire, high frequency vibrations, engine buzz. Some people are really sensitive. Our buddy here, Seth, seems to be so.
Right. 1446 gearing. Second will still get me up anything I want to ride, and it will cruise in sixth on the highway. Let me do my math. 1446. Okay. That's a little high for me, but I think
He wants to go 110.
He wants to go pretty fast. Recluse Clutch. How cool are they?
Yeah.
Well, I would tell you, but Recluse is not a
They're a
sponsor
sponsor
of this show.
Hang on, what? They used to be.
They're not. Yeah, a long time ago. But they're no longer a sponsor of the show, so I'm not going to tell you how cool they are.
Okay.
But I mean, I could. Clake. Clake.
Well, good product.
Do you know about the Clake?
Yeah.
I've seen it, but
Yeah.
I've never seen one in real life. But I've seen it on the internet.
Well,
then.
they're adjustable in a lot of
Okay.
ways, and they can adjust to the point where they don't work and cause problems.
Infinitely configurable.
Yes. So left hand combine brake and clutch lever because I come from a push bike background and not motorcycle. Foot brake has been deleted. Oh boy.
Oh, that's.
Yeah, but good for you that you can do that because Anthony over here is trying to lean that direction. He got pissed off because the Can-Am has a foot brake, which by the way, it's adjusted so far down that just like your front brake lever, it's basically useless for me.
On paper, I have no problem with him deleting the foot brake, but there's something about that just gives me the willies. Like that's
Because that means you're a motorcycle guy.
yeah,
and
that
not
just
a
kind
bike
of freaks
guy.
me out. But
Yeah.
I'm okay with that he did it, but it
Right.
freaks me
Yeah.
out.
Nice to be able to ride down something steep and slippery and be able to dab my right foot if I still want to
No, there's no brake.
on the rear brake.
Now
Well,
he's saying he can put his foot down, but he can still brake with the back wheel. With
I
his
see what he's
hand.
saying.
That's what he's saying.
Well, he didn't need to remove the lever to still be able to do that.
correct.
Maybe
Yeah.
he just wanted it like if it's all up.
He's showing
it's
off.
like- it's
Seth
like
is a
make-
show.
No,
At this
no,
point,
he's
Well,
not.
he's
Seth
a
is
racing
show-off.
snake, man. He's a racing snake. He
This
wants
guy-
the bike lighter.
He's
Get
not.
that lever off.
He's not.
get
He's
it
not.
up.
He's not showing. He's not showing off.
I don't
because,
know now.
Because he's telling us that he's not a very good rider because he loses his balance on downhills and he has to put his foot down.
I don't
used
know
to.
what.
You may not know this, but I
Yeah,
used to
but-
run. I used to run a riding school where I used to tell people all the time. I'm like, hey, don't ride with your feet on the ground. You don't ride with your feet on the ground. It shouldn't be a concern. So, anyhow, a Chirby skid plate, lowered pegs 1 inch.
1 inch.
Wow. Again, for comfort, as my knees aren't what they used to be. Can you see those things drop down?
Oh, you'll have to zoom in like
Wow,
the
they
NSA.
are. Yeah, they are down.
Ooh,
An
those are
inch is
probably
a
those
lot,
titanium
man. An inch is a
pegs
lot.
out of like Czechoslovakia.
Wouldn't it be better if you just put a taller seat on? I guess.
I think so.
Well,
Well, but then
He wants to-
then
he
he
wants
can't
to
put
dab.
His,
How
then
can he
can't
dab?
Put his feet on the
you
ground.
gotta
Yeah.
how do you
I'm
dab
the
when you
same
have
thing.
a-
This is the thing. So
Giraffe
let's
seat.
see. Probably more that I've forgotten, but that's about it. Love the bike so much, and it's a keeper for long as I'm able. Having said that, I've never ridden a bike that I hadn't had fun on. Seth Waterfalls.
It sounds like he's got a bike set up for him.
Yeah, I mean, when you go to the level of putting, and it's funny.
He's got
'cause-
steg pegs on there. Look, zoom in over his.
Yeah,
he's got stegs on there.
Really?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, he forgot about that.
I mean,
For-
he admitted more
You-
than he forgot.
You know what? For that, I'm giving this bike an endo.
Come on.
No, fully endo.
He's 61. Homie is 61. He's out
Dude,
there shredding
he's just born his heart to you here and
He-
told you he loved the show. Remember the first paragraph? And
I
he was
forgot
like
that
an
already.
older dude.
Why are
and-
you turned on this
Come
guy?
on, man.
I'm saying.
And now you're like sending him up the river.
No, I'm not sending him up the river. I'm telling him that he challenged me geographically with kangaroos, cold temperatures and heated grips, and Colombia.
Yeah, but the
I'm
thing is, you
so
have
confused.
listeners all over the world. He's just telling you that he's been to all these
I'll
places.
tell you, you know how many letters I've gotten from AI lately that are just telling me how awesome I am and they want to sponsor my podcast? It's so
Take 'em up
many
on it.
that I'm afraid that he actually didn't use AI to do any of this because AI would have caught those mistakes. I love Seth, but your
I'm
bike,
into it, Seth.
you're
Seth, I'm
endos.
for it.
These guys
I'm
can't.
pro Seth.
They can't be real. And
I don't know about those drop foot pegs. That kind
See-
of worries me, but I get it. It's for him.
I'm
but,
on Seth's side.
I like Seth. Seth seems like a good dude.
I think
So
that
I
Mike
gotta
picked him.
respect his
I
bike.
think Mike
'Cause he's
just
got-
picked him because he
he's
said
got a-
Taco Moto
He's got an
Tugger.
$18 tugger strap on there.
Yeah,
For
and
that,
for that you win.
I'm on it.
And I'm trying to figure out why.
I just love that he's
You-
living his best life. That whole thing there is more about what he's doing and how he's loving riding motorcycles than
I'm
the actual
stoked
bike.
what he's doing. I like the guy. I think he likes the show. I'm not gonna fall over on this bike.
No, Seth is the man. I think you're feeling
Come on,
some
man.
weird.
It's
This is
Seth.
more about
It's
you,
Seth. He's our
Jimmy.
bro,
This
man.
is
What
more
are you
about
doing to
you
Seth?
than it is about Seth. This is going real meta here.
This is our boy Seth, man.
Whole show about me.
This this is getting real weird, and it's getting real awkward.
Okay, so that's our those are our bikes that we have for Rooster Endo, by the way.
Cool.
So just so you know, This is brought to you by Taco Moto.
Yeah.
This is a
lot
Taco
riding
Moto
on
branded
this.
segment. He's given out a $100 gift certificate. You know
100
what?
bones.
Did we have a winner last time? I don't remember whether we skipped it. I don't remember because I was going to double it up. We've done this before.
Yeah, you've done it.
To
And I
do-
get like double emails.
Yeah.
I get 2 big wieners.
Yeah. Oh, it gets all messed up. But anyways, well, we won't do it this time. Maybe next week's a double or nothing. Because all I was going to do on the show is give away product.
I'm gonna surprise you tonight.
Okay. Oh, there's a surprise. So anyways, what we do now is we pick the winner, the one that
The
gave
big
us
wiener.
the most enjoyment. So here's our options
Yeah,
here.
let's-
We're going
let's
to
go
go
back
through
and
one more
review.
time. So we've got
That's Seth's.
Seth's. No, that's Seth.
No.
That's Seth, and this is
Oh,
Tim.
I had PTSD when
Wait,
you
did I-
brought
did-
the homies back
Wait a
up.
minute. Is that Tim? We were using Brooks. There's Brooks. Hold on a
I'm
second.
so confused right
Hold on. Well, you're confused. You should try running this stupid show. It's so
Can we just
hard
not
to-
pick the bike and then we'll match it with the
I'll do-
name
okay.
afterwards?
This is like an air traffic control screen I'm looking at right here.
Oh, it's worse than that because I'm not even on meth.
today.
Okay, so this is Brooks.
man. Okay.
This is Brooks.
Brooks is the yellow and orange.
This is Seth.
Oh,
Seth-
is Seth the?
Yeah.
Seth is
Seth-
You
Raleigh.
were saying
Raleigh
Seth was
dude.
the other dude.
Oh, and because I got confused because
Oh, great. We're
and
busy
then-
giving
this is-
Seth props.
this
We're
is-
meant to be giving
Okay,
Tim.
here's the other reason. This is Tim Robinson. We're saying his name. Hey, you know what, Tim? If you were watching the show, free Seth.
yes.
If you were watching the show, you could have said we were saying the wrong name. This is Tim Robinson. Tim Robinson.
Okay, so Tim is the dude who's.
Tim is the old dude.
Okay, gotcha.
that-
Who's
that's
riding all over the world
that's-
with kangaroos
sits
in
country.
Colombia
kangaroos
and snow.
and snow, and somehow
With his
in
girlfriend on the
Colombia, yeah, in Colombia, has ridden every bike, Moto Guzzi's, Vespas included. And Jason Abbott showed up. He said, "Free Seth." Actually, Jason, he meant
story.
free,
That's a shirt.
free Tim. Yeah, free Tim. So
we know what he meant.
Tim is a photographer.
We're onto him.
So here's the other reason I think that that photo is
AI.
no, it's disrespectful to the bike. You're looking down on the bike.
Oh, that's
No, he's
that's
standing
deep.
behind the bike and he's going, "This bike is taking me places."
He should have squatted down and bowed down to the bike and taken a nice picture of the bike's a little more prominent, kind of like Seth did here. See how Seth's at a lower angle at the
But
bike?
it's like cultures. Maybe he was about to bow and like standing.
And,
you know.
and Brooks is a little high on the bike for me.
But direct
You know,
to the side.
Yeah, but he's just straight
So
square
Yeah, 'cause
on.
he's
a
worried
peer.
about
These
the
guys are
hunters.
peers. The other two from the sides, they believe they're
Okay.
on parity with the bike.
To
But
be
this
honest,
guy is subservient
Tim
to
did
it.
send me a couple other photos as well, but this one, I'm I'm a little bit of an ass guy sometimes, so I like to see the back end of the bike. Or he did have a side view too that was a straight side view with a really boring background. But he's got a photography in his
This went from a dirty
his
bike,
email.
dirt bike show to a fine arts degree.
Yeah.
Like I feel like I'm getting an MFA.
I was
here.
like, man, I don't know it was
Yeah,
about
I'm
the photograph. Thought it was about the bikes, but maybe that's just
well,
me.
it's everything. It is it's absolutely everything that could be possible. We
this
put
is
in.
bedlam.
This show is always
This
about Jimmy.
should not be on
See?
the air.
See, Ron knows
This
this.
should not exist. Shut it down.
Jeremy Franklin said I skipped last week. I skipped I didn't do the show last week.
I think you skipped the
The roost.
Rooster Endo.
the prize.
And Doug
last
Derby
week, yeah.
votes for the last Husky. And if you're
Yeah.
watching on the chat, you're
Nice
in
one,
the chat.
Doug. I'm with Doug.
You guys all have a good say in this. I definitely get influenced by what you guys say. Even my hosts or my guests, my
Our
co-hosts.
worthless opinion.
Well, I take it. I absorb it all. I mean, I just
And I discount it all.
Totally peered out.
But I
yeah.
absorb it. Go up. There seemed like there
Ron
was.
says the journalist in you will never die.
Yeah.
Okay. Jeremy Franklin says, you want to read this?
Yeah.
Jeremy, as a former Rooster Endo winner and a fan of the show, I want to say thanks, Taco Mike. You're welcome for sponsoring this segment. Oh, did you see how I subliminally put the word "great" in there, but it's not there?
This great segment.
Wish you sold more beta goodies, but rad shop, man. Well, thank you, Jeremy. Thanks. That's nice.
MX Bean says, if the new Kawasaki 2-stroke is a KX300, will you buy one? Assuming it's a good bike.
I don't think it's going to be a.
I don't assume much of anything.
Yeah.
So,
It's hard to know.
the Husky.
Which Husky?
The Husky. The last Husky.
Yeah.
That's what he says.
See, we're just dropping the names now because it's Tim Seth. It's the last one.
Tough.
So Tim's Husky.
The one with the bad photo,
there
but
was-
the good dude.
There was Tim's Husky. We're gonna kind of go through here again. So we have.
The snake bike.
Okay, so
The
we have
kangaroo bike.
we have Brooks
We have
has a Husky.
Yeah.
With multicolored.
Hunter safety
we'll call
bike.
it the
Hunter one,
safety
yeah.
bike.
Yeah.
That's Brooks. Then we have Seth, who has the KTM.
Purple accents.
Oh, with the rally
the
stuff.
24.
Yeah,
With the
this
rally
was
stuff.
cool, man.
Yeah.
Rally guy.
This is cool.
And then we
With the
have
chocolate
then
cake cribs.
we have Tim with the jungle Husky.
Yeah. With the snow and kangaroos.
But here's what's
Snow-
here's
the
there's
kang-
no
the
color
snow
on that
kangaroo.
bike.
Yeah, there you go.
No color.
They
on that bike.
molt in the
This-
winter.
well, you're gonna like one Husky or the other Husky, or you're gonna like the KTM.
He's got the black.
Man, I'm a
front-
KTM
front
guy, but I
fork
like
guards.
Tim as a
you're-
person.
Oh, you like Tim as a person. Yeah. This is why it's so hard, because you're judging everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the
Harshly.
photos as well, apparently.
MX Bean says he votes for Seth for the good photo, and then Chris Needell says Tim wins.
I think we should
Yeah,
stretch this
let's
out
go,
for another.
Chris.
How long should we go? 3 hours tonight?
No,
On this segment?
I'm got my vote's for Tim, man. Come on, give it to Tim. He's a new guy, man. He probably needs
I
the
have
money
to walk to the next room,
to
so I'll have
pay
a little.
for his.
Can I get some tequila? Actually,
This is he needs.
Okay, this is gonna go long, guys.
let's go with the one with the bell on it. Yeah, bring that guy over here. That's
Alrighty,
I'll have to pull that onto the
pull
show.
out a
'cause-
sleeping bag as well.
Yeah, so Taco Mike's having a sleepover. That's the way it goes here.
He was my
With
lift
this
home. I'm
segment-
getting
So
nervous.
you guys, I get the final vote.
Yeah,
so,
you do.
Seth, I like
he's
rally
getting a lot of
bikes, says
votes there.
Jeremy. Yeah.
Yeah, they are
Yeah.
cool.
Oh,
Tim-
and
oh,
Trent-
there. Okay,
there's a
look.
Tim-
Oh, we got another Tim.
the
It's a-
crowd is coming in.
Don't worry, because Jimmy's busy over here going
Tim.
like
Tim.
that, and nobody knows that that's actually a bell. It's a
That's
thing,
cool.
but this is the Clase Azul Blanco. Really, very, very nice one. I switched it up from the Mescals, by the way. Just wanted to take a different.
Did you get some
taste
poisoning from the
adventure.
worm?
So widescreen. Here we go.
Okay.
So you guys, see, we got any more votes coming in? You have about 10 seconds before more for the votes.
Yeah, that rally one's cool, man. But I got to give it to Tim. Tim just seems like a good dude. Come on, man. And he's like taking the. He's not like supposed to know how to take photos of bikes. He's still a new rider, man.
Yeah.
So
what kind of?
he's like,
He's got.
come on.
he's still
you
trying
like,
to
you
ride.
like. Do you know what it's like? It's when the guy's coming in, he's learning how to ride bikes, and you're like pointing and laughing at him. Like it's not cool, man. Come on.
Like
You
what
know,
a
let
squid.
him join the fold, man.
Hey,
doesn't even
Stop
know how
being
to
a
take a
gatekeeper.
picture.
Hey, when you were a kid, like when people picked on you, did it motivate you to do better?
No, it made me cry.
Well, yeah, you cried, but then you came
Yeah,
back.
then you
stronger.
came back. Yeah.
Yeah, you came back. So
Yeah, but come on, he's not old enough. He's
He's
too
too
old. He
old.
might not have another chance. Give the guy a go, man.
When did this turn into a group therapy?
Come on, you
session?
should be able to relate to
this
old
is-
people,
this is
Jimmy.
Not, this show is not a social experiment. We answer motorcycle and motorcycle related question, motorcycle product related question. But MX Bean says I just drank Dum Dum juice, which he might be right.
I'd like to be deleted out of this. Is that possible? Can you edit?
We can do that thing where they do when they in the cop shows when you get
Yeah,
arrested
just
and they just kind
fog
of
it out.
Yeah.
pixelize your face.
I heard about this
pixelate.
drinking show that you record.
I know. Okay, so you voted. You're
Tim.
You're going Tim.
Tim,
I'm gonna wild card you. I'm the guy. Look, I gotta write the check for this thing.
Yeah, you do write the check.
I'm gonna give it to all of them. All of them.
everybody wins?
All three.
oh wow!
All three.
You just so.
Oh,
three
that was a
different reasons.
curveball right there.
For 3 different reasons.
You,
I love them
you,
all.
Okay, you so minimized my decision right now.
You can still decide. Look, here's the
cut his
thing.
nads right
You
off
can
there.
decide who you put on the board.
Uh-huh.
I get to decide who gets the card.
Gets the-
the gift
Ah,
cert.
okay, so you
we
give the money, you
each-
give the glory.
You,
I'm going to
you're
tell
the
you. no,
kingmaker.
You know, honestly,
They all get the.
You know
They
which,
all get the cert.
You know which bike I
but
like.
you pick a wiener.
You know which bike I liked the best?
Probably the rally bike.
Yeah, the KTM.
Yeah.
I think that is as far as the bike goes and the picture and everything
Yeah.
like that. Just the stuff. It's
The-
like.
yeah.
But I was going to give it to Tim. Honestly,
good man.
I was going to go with Tim, even though I endoed his bike.
Yeah.
I like you said, I liked the story. I liked the presentation.
Yeah.
He
Yeah.
confused the crap out of me with
Yeah.
the Tim, and maybe
All over.
maybe I even liked that.
you resonated with that?
Yeah. So no, thank you, Taco Mike. That's awesome. So I will. So all three of you guys are winners.
Good
And
man. Well done,
Trent
Mike.
Zimmer says, X2, thank you, Taco Mike, as a former winner by default. Was he one of the guys
Was he
that
the
was
only
smart,
one?
was smart enough to send in the only
On a week when he was the
bike?
only one?
Yeah.
Trent, congrats. Like,
So
well played.
if you're wondering how to play this game with us, by the way, you send us a picture of your bike, tell us a little bit about it. We will make
Roast
fun
it,
of you,
shred
chastise
it,
you, shred you, and then we'll pick
give
a
you
winner.
money.
The one that gives us the most enjoyment. And in all honesty, the fact that we razzed him a little bit, and that's kind of part of the game. Some people send in some bikes that are so tricked they just win because the bike is amazing.
Yeah, I gotcha.
Some of the photos just make us want to go riding.
Yeah.
There's a photo that's just really good.
Yeah.
And other guys send a picture of their biker game that's going to come and kick my ass. And through threat or violence, you're going to win. So
We should have asked those guys in the forest who they thought should win. We would have just given it to them straight away.
I can't afford to give all those homies. Yeah.
Chris Nidell says, epic Rooster Endo tonight. See? They liked it.
There we go. Well done.
The fans of the show. All
They're
20,
cheering. All 28 people.
Million people that are still on thing. If you really like Rooster Endo, you can send us bags of cash, and we will donate some of that money, a small portion of that money, to the Rooster Endo winners that provide us with this awesome entertainment.
Send it to Jimmy's underground bunker here in Pahrump,
Pahrump,
Nevada.
Valley of the Dirt People. So I definitely have a thing I need to read from our buddy Kevin Kleinschmidt a little bit later on in the show.
Ooh,
It's a little bit long.
That's
but
long. Kev Dog.
I like to go. I also like to go to.
K Dog wrote a book.
Let's see. He really wants to know about that KX300 that we don't know anything
Again.
about.
Oh, you blew it off, and he's back.
Yeah, he's keeping coming there. There is one more. Where is this thing? Oh, here we go. We got to answer some questions on the YouTubes. Cole Smith from Tech Talk Taco Tuesday number 254, where we rode Riley Stark Varg, says, Jimmy, are you the Stark Varg in its need or otherwise for a clutch? Should I begin by saying I've never ridden one? Well,
Okay. I have an opinion.
yeah.
Regardless.
This is like when Billy Bob Big Sprockets and Joe Two Stroke Oil Mixer get into it about which is the best. That neither of them even have motorcycles. They hardly even have jobs, and they spend a lot of time on the YouTubes and the comments telling you how to do something that they've never done.
But
Like,
they're
I'm coming
cycle
now, Mom. I'm busy.
I'll be down for dinner in a minute. But they were subscribers to Cycle
Mom
News.
didn't have her hearing aids turned on because she's 90. Yeah. So, okay.
Well, he is 52. So
Okay. So
living with Mom.
Dirt Rider Magazine. He's a subscriber, faithful reader.
Okay, so the way electric vehicles I have experience with are tuned is with 3 adjustments. 1, the output of the motor at minimum throttle opening. Okay, so this is an Anthony question. We're throwing it across the couch right now. 2, the output of the motor at 100% throttle
This
opening.
guy's going all science class here.
3, the acceleration ramp between those points. So the popping the clutch feel could be simulated by having a steeper ramp map available via the closing of a switch under a clutch lever. Thanks for the show and keeping it real. So he's talking about so changing.
where all the
He's
map
talking about
symbols-
changing the. He's talking about changing the map when you pull a lever.
Sure.
So
Trigger activation switch going into a second mode.
I honestly, I would like to have a bike like the Stark that I could play with the mapping, maybe to a level more than they would want to allow. But I think I could build a map that would have a step in a certain part of the throttle, kind of like I tune both 4-stroke and 2-strokes. I tune them to have, I don't want to say a hit, but a ramp at some place that's not in a place I commonly ride. It's a little bit below that. And if I do ride below it, I'm a gear high, so the ramp is minimized. But if I'm in the proper gear and I go into the ramp, it lifts the front wheel. This is Jimmy Maps.
Okay.
So I know what he's talking about.
So he's just proposing a way to execute
But
that.
the fact that I have
Sounds valid.
You remember how I said I ride a gear high when I don't want the ramp to be effective? On an electric bike, you don't have gears. So anytime you cross that ramp, you're going to get that effect, which might be good, but most of the time I think it would be bad.
He's just talking about having a clutch lever to activate is like a mode switch.
Yeah.
Almost like a power valve, like it's a mechanically activated power valve.
But as opposed to like slipping the clutch, allowing the RPM to increase for the power to go up, and then releasing it again, it's at a fixed position. That's what I'm. I don't know how maybe at any moment that you pull the clutch in, it's gonna move the map up to a higher point, and then give it when you release it, it would artificially. I mean, this is the cool thing about the future we're in, and especially if some of this software is like
It's
open,
all software.
if it's open source ish,
Yep.
somebody's gonna figure this crap out.
Every rider
And-
could configure his power delivery the way he wants.
If you're getting tired on this show right now, wait till you're riding the Baja 1000, and all you see is two ruts full of
man.
rocks in front of you.
This is Iron Manning. We are
Yeah, but-
Iron Manning dirt bike. What the hell is this called? The Dirt Bike Channel? No, Dirt Bike TV, Dirt Bike Test.
Oh boy! Hey,
Edit
all
that
my
out.
all my sponsors, boy. Jeez, thanks, Mike.
Again, edit me out. Pixelate.
How much? What sponsor do you have with him? What's your deal with
Nope,
him?
nothing.
We need to go in the dark room and talk about like how much money we're getting out of this thing here.
Nothing.
Okay, so yeah, no, I think you have an interesting idea, and
Did you see the Taddy Blaziziak video? In the
where his bike runs over that guy.
what do you think about that?
Taddy lost control of the throttle.
Yeah.
That's it. Yeah, accidents happen. You're in a race. You should expect bad things to happen. You got run over. in a
Sorry,
race.
bro.
Yeah.
I did.
You signed up and you entered.
100%.
Because the next day you blame the bike.
Yeah.
That's what all good riders do. I never made a mistake in my racing career. It was always the bike. Linnet 5756. He edited this comment, so it's on our 23 Yamaha WR450F video. Which, by the way, I own that bike because Yamaha makes really good bikes, and I buy them. Jimmy, so you did uncork the bike, remove the throttle stop screw, remove the air intake restrictor, and the muffler insert, all before installing the GYTR computer. Well, yes, because part of the GYT computer is the shorter throttle stop screw and stuff. So it's part of the kit.
Oh, it comes in a kit.
The
Okay.
kit, the GYTR kit comes with that stuff.
Does it come with a different throttle cam?
So, or did you leave the original throttle stop screw until you put the GYTR computer? No, which are currently not available worldwide. Wow.
The ECU is not available worldwide? the
Well,
throttle stop.
he's saying computer and he means ECU, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, so the ECU. I've heard there's a shortage of those because
Is it a Kaheen ECU? Do you know who makes that? It's
not
not a Get.
No, it's not a Get.
They license the
interface for the stuff. It's not a Get.
But it's not a
thing.
Get ECU.
So with my 25, I'm stuck with a stock ECU, and now it must literally make 18 horsepower. So what I did do is I rode it with the stock ECU with the throttle stop removed and with the smallest insert out of it, and it's acceptable. So, and it surges like crazy. So yes, it's kind of like an emissions compliant bike that gets a little bit uncorked, and it does surge. The 1/16th rotation of the throttle is like an on-off switch.
Sure, super lean.
Either nothing at all or like 18 rip snorting horsepower. A complete clown show. Worst running bike I've ever owned in 40 years of riding. I want to remove the throttle stop screw. Yes. And the exhaust restrictor. Yes. But I don't want to damage anything. I have to wait for the... No.
Tune it.
Yeah.
You have to wait.
Take them out. How do I got to respond to this guy.
In real time. This is... Folks.
I'm going to do it as word conscious. I can remove the...
Jimmy Bent spoke 29 is
screw
getting his answer.
And remove the screw and smallest insert.
This is AI.
There we go.
This is organic AI.
I should have just. Well, what did AI?
That's what Jimmy
what
is.
did AI want to? They, usually you get an AI. You get an AI answer. Like up here, it gives me all these. Thanks for a great. That's a great way
the
to look
auto
at
prompts.
it. Clutch feel.
Yep.
Like that guy didn't even get an AI response. Maybe he's typed too much or something like that. He's too smart for AI. Dr. Stephen Penny M wants to know about the Honda XR150L. This bike or the Grom?
They're just way different.
I don't know. Do you like guys or girls? I mean, because if you like girls, get a Grom. because you're gonna pull the chicks with the Grom.
Yeah.
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 Let's see. Let's see. Louisiana girl.
Do you notice? Hey, do you notice there's no AI auto prompt answer to that question because the AI is like, I don't even know what to say to this guy.
It's really smart.
It's just leaving it alone.
Yeah, it's like doesn't even know.
It doesn't even know. It's like whatever.
MX Bean says get the XR150L. Oh, we got to check this. I know this might be frowned on, but I think I want a Stark Varg next. Any experience with them? Well, there's a video I did about having an experience with a Stark Varg. So just go on our YouTube channel, search Stark Varg, and go there. The question, let's see, Louisiana Girl, GRL. I'm seeing videos from one person about an XR Tornado being released in South America somewhere. It's too bad they don't release the same bikes up here because in South America the XR comes with the kickstart installed. And I've noticed a couple of other minor differences in the videos. Anyways, I've got my 2025 XR 150L on July. And the first, I'm very happy with it. Perfect out here where I live in North Louisiana. Lots of back roads, narrow. And I'm on 40 acres, so it's a lot of fun. Well, Louisiana girl, good. You should call up Dr. Stephen Penworthy and talk him out of that Grom.
They're meant to be together.
Yeah. I think we've figured it. That's all of our questions. That's it.
Okay.
I think we're going to have to call this.
Solve all the world's problems.
Most of them.
Any Facebook questions? Do those come into this feed here?
Yeah, so all of the questions kind of end up
You pull 'em in
trickling into this thing. They
Okay.
kind of scroll up here on the show.
Oh, I gotcha.
It's a pretty
This
tight
high
ship.
tech. This is legit, dude.
This
This is maybe plywood, or this could be a whole. You don't. What the viewers don't know is where we're at.
what a shit show this place really is. I mean, I'm lucky the power comes on in this place because we are in Pahrump, okay?
Oh, when we arrived here and we came through security, it was pretty impressive.
I showed a badge.
So did you ride today?
No, yesterday.
Because I heard you guys were out riding out here.
We were going
Yeah.
to.
And if you're training, so let's talk about your next goal.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you're.
So this is Joey Evans. Joey Evans, a Dakar finisher, has another goal. So your first Baja went like my first Dakar.
Yep, pretty much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Didn't make it.
Didn't make it. We did the Ironman last year, and we got to
Not we, you.
Well, me, and got to 585 at 3:00. You start at midnight, so it was 3:00 the following morning, and that's where it
13
ended for
hours,
me.
yeah.
No,
I mean,
no.
24 and 27 hours.
Yeah, 28. Yeah, thereabouts.
Probably like 30, but really.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna tell you that Ironmaning a Baja 1000. If you like suffering,
Yeah.
you've picked a really good thing to do.
Solid life choices. Is what
Oh
you're
yeah,
saying.
you could have spoken to me a year ago.
Nobody asked. I'm willing to dish out advice for free.
You should seek people out like me and warn them.
So this is going out to all those people that are following you that say, I'm going to do the Baja 1000 too.
They said you were a humanitarian. You should have helped me.
It's not because I'm the motorcycle race director for the Nora Mexican 1000. It's not because of that. But I'm telling you that if you want to do a fun race in Baja, look at Nora. The score race is like, back when I did it, when we had to walk uphill both ways to school in the snow, when we had like
elastic bands around your shoes.
We were so careful because the kangaroos were trying to attack us in the
We
snow.
did grips.
But that time in life, the courses were not just beat to hell. We pre-ran them, but not to the level like they do now. They were really good roads. They were the roads you dream of riding on. You know, they had little tiny berms on the side of them, not two giant ruts with a bunch of rocks. There were some silt beds, but not very many of them, and you knew how to go around the motorcycles could always go around the silt beds and stuff like this. And it's just become to this thing where I don't even know why people continue to race motorcycles there, because it's not fun riding. I do get it that people go down there to pre-run, and the pre-running is kind of the fun part of the thing. Oh, I got to go pre-running, and then I had to suffer through this race that, I'm worried about getting run over by a trophy truck. That those guys have enough money not to care about hitting you.
Yeah.
And let me say that again. These guys have enough money to not care about hitting you, and that's the way some of them drive.
Yeah.
They drive through the dust like it's nobody's business. So, anyways, get another rant for another time. But yeah, come and do Nora. It's 6 days of really fun riding, and you get to do the entire peninsula, full peninsula run, not this little loop race.
That sounds great. I accept that sponsorship. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Hey, if you have the 25 million YouTube followers like we do,
Yeah.
you can get sponsored.
I
No
was
problem.
thinking maybe every one of your followers could just kick in, 10 cents and we'd be there?
You'd be there easy. You would have so many wheelbarrows of money following you to the start line that you could probably get.
I could afford to hit a trophy truck.
Yeah. Because of this problem, we have a completely separate course. We try. We're not completely separate. We keep you away from the cars as much as possible. I just, as a motorcycle guy, I don't feel, and I don't want to put that pressure on the truck guys and the car guys. I don't want them to have to worry about stupid motorcycle guys that are going really slow at the back of the course that shouldn't be on the course, in their opinion, blocking them. And half the time, you
run a good program.
It's a different thing. Motorcycle racing and four-wheel racing should be two different things.
100%.
In my world, I go off on these rants all the time. And there's my buddy Roger Doggerel, who used to have a company called Spike Racing. He used to build XR 100s in the garage with me that we'd race in some guy's backyard, Langtown. So,
you just got Tim. Come online.
Tim says, "Oh man, I'm late. Can you start again? Did you like my husky? You love that thing."
He's got to
Okay,
watch it.
Tim,
we can't open
Tim,
that.
you
No.
gotta start at the
You got to watch it on YouTube,
Don't leak
man.
it.
We can't do that again. No.
I want to know
Right.
about your.
Don't
I
tell
want
him.
about your. I want to know about your snow kangaroos. And what else?
Girlfriends
Colombian
in
heated
DRZ.
grips. Yeah, there you
yeah,
go.
the Colombian heated grips and the snow
Running
kangaroos.
from the cartel on the DRZ
This
650.
will make
Yeah.
no sense to me. He needs to go watch it first. Yeah.
Yeah. Your wife's ass is ruined from a DR 650. This is all,
Snakes on a 501.
all the kind of things.
Poor Tim.
Do you guys like vintage bikes? I see an Elsinore engine. I think.
Is that a-
That is
this here?
believe it or not, that's Johnny Campbell's CR80 from when he was a kid.
That's great.
That his bike, he brought it over to my house
That's
and it
great.
rotted in my backyard, and I pulled the engine out and did that. So he says, "Don't worry, I will."
Tim's gonna go back
And,
to the beginning.
And you have a new buddy called MX Beans who was voting for you, so all good. Hey guys, I'd like to thank Taco Mike for not only sponsoring the show but coming in and giving me a ration of shit. Hey, did you bring me that fuel pump I wanted?
I did.
Awesome. Did you want to bring in your product of the month, product of the week?
Yeah, it's that tank. So it's that fuel tank over there, sitting there. Yeah, that works.
Yeah.
And maybe the other. So yeah, that other thing on the chair too, as well. So that's so you can see it kind of.
You didn't give me product segment of the month or the week. What the new product of the week? Hey, this is a new segment on Dirt Bike Tests Tech Talk Taco Tuesday.
Dude, thanks, man.
You know, because the cool thing, it's at the end of the show, it'll be easy to find. We can clip this out and we can make it like a
Sit in its own
sponsor
thing.
plug.
Oh, what's this gonna cost me? I can't afford it.
Hey, I'll bill you like I do all my other sponsors, and all my other sponsors are laughing right now.
With these kinds of numbers, I don't think I can afford it.
I know. Here we go. This is Taco Mike. You're gonna have to play to the camera.
What the crap is this?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, get the dinosaur out of the way. All of our other sponsor products. Thank God we cleaned this desk, otherwise there'd be a dust cloud forming up off of this.
Okay.
This is Taco Mike and
I
his.
can hold it.
This is a tiny bit tricky. This is like shaving in a mirror. Okay.
You should try to run this computer and drink some tequila, but that's bad for you.
That's your intellect juice.
We got
What do you want me to say? So this is the double snorkel. This product, this is about a year and a half, maybe 2 years, sort of in the making to get to this point to have it be like fully realized and shipping. We're sending these out. I think we've got 100 or so of these already shipped out. And the whole concept is that you when you have your OEM pump, you can see this cutaway right here. Now, see, I can't even
Okay,
find
so
it.
yeah,
Right here.
so don't use your brain because it's hard when
Yeah,
the
it's
cameras are
backwards.
backwards.
Yep.
So let me just kind of break this down real quick. So Taco Mike has tacomoto.com, and he has a product that is for the newer generation KTM tanks that have a little problem. The tank is designed to run a larger fuel pump that sits and nestles itself up higher than the bottom of the tank.
That's what you're looking at right here in this little
And
cup.
so there's a lot of fuel that ends up down in the wings.
All this
If you're
stuff.
bouncing around, KTM theorizes that the gas will always bump up and land up in the center thing, and you'll be able to use all of your gas.
Which it does.
If you're bouncing around quite a bit,
Right.
but not all of it.
So, most guys are getting like 95%. They leave it.
Of the fuel
And,
out of it.
Yeah, maybe an inch or two is left over when you're like, hard after it off road, fully bouncing around.
So what you've designed is a tank system that runs a fuel pump that actually has catch and pickups down in the lower parts of the tank. So especially for dual sport guys and guys riding on smooth stuff, this is very, very helpful.
Yeah, that's exactly right. And so we've got these two straws that go down into the bottom wings, so we're pulling the fuel up from the bottom wings, and it's distributing it now here into the center cup. And so we've put in a module that uses, maybe I should transfer the view to I think you got the idea from the tank itself. And then so this is the Y yoke, the two straws that go down in, and we've got magnetic sinkers. And on the outside of the tank, so the question is, how does this get held onto the tank and not bounce around? How does the sinker not bounce around in the tank? It's because we've got this little magnetic pad that has some double stick tape that goes to the outside bottom of the tank. And then when you install this into the tank, these things are automatically located in their fixed position by the magnet. And then here is the low fuel sinker. So you know what else is super maddening is that on your OEM fuel pump,
you run out of half a tank.
Yes, your low fuel light is way up here, and yet you've got up to almost 2 gallons if you have IMS 4.5 gallon tank. So your low fuel light is on, and you have 2.5 gallons left in the tank. So what we do is we've got this little adjustable sender device down here, and you get to decide where you want to zip tie this, so you can locate it really high if you want a big margin or bring it down low. It's up to you. It's user configurable. And you lock that location in with a couple of zip ties, and then your low sender light comes up here, connects into the unit itself. So basically what we're doing is we're through a vacuum venturi, we're bringing fuel up from the two wings, we're sending it here into the center cup where we have a constant oversupply of fuel at the bottom, so we could trade this out. So this is the bottom of the fuel pump where our draw is, and we're pulling that fuel, so we're always supplying the motor, which is always supplying the injector. And then this fuel just cycles itself throughout the pump, or throughout the tank itself, and keeping this drop constantly full.
So you can run it dry.
And we do, and we have, through experiments, we have run that tank all the way down to there is probably not enough fuel in the bottom of each wing to wet a paper towel.
Right. So, I know that that's a really awesome product for the regular people, but I just want you to let you know that I can pull some pretty sick wheelies. We call them monos sometimes. I get the bike in a mono.
Get a 12 o'clock.
Yeah, 12 o'clock Willy Boys, and then most of the fuel runs right back into that center thing.
Yeah, that's cool for guys who can do that, but a lot of us are riding on the road, we're dual sporting, and so there's guys who don't need this and who doesn't need this. These are the off-road dudes who are running typically smaller tanks. So anything below 3.9 gallon off-road, you're able to get all that fuel, and just through that splash effect is going to get up into the center cup and the pad. So this big filter, it's big on the OEM, it's big on this by design, so it acts as like a sponge. So all that liquid fuel splashing around is just sort of captured here and then condensed and then down into the draw cup. So if you're riding off-road, hard enduro on a small tank, this is completely, you're shocked that this even exists or that anybody even needs this, because you don't need this.
No, I actually do. I've run.
I don't mean you, the you. I'm the
the
theoretical you. Yeah, those guys.
No, I've run my bike out. I've run the bike out, the newer bikes.
Yeah.
I've run them out a couple times when I had gas, and I had to do this weird thing where I'm laying it over,
swishing
and
it
splashing
side to
it
side,
and stuff around, and because it's funny because I look and I see, hey, I'm low on gas, and I start noticing that I'm low, and usually at that point we kind of get off the trails and we start riding down roads, which is the problem.
Yeah.
You're trying to get back, and then you end up
now you're on flat.
Yeah, you're not bouncing the bike around and doing it stuff. And I have had it also where I am riding around and the bike is running crappy for the last, what is it, liter of gas maybe? Yeah. The last, where it's kind of splashing around.
Because you're sort of splashing and gulping air.
It runs dry a little bit.
Yeah.
Like, whoa,
catches
what the hell?
Fuel, catches air.
Does it run out? And so, but no.
The other guys that this is really designed for is so those riders who are on 3.5 and bigger tanks and who ride dual sport conditions. So shock of shock, a lot of us ride these 350 through 501 bikes in the same type of conditions that the ADV guys would be running in. So like bladed roads, more flat
Where
roads.
it's never going to splash up.
It's never going to splash up. And then some of us are riding big bags. We're riding like Moscow 80 bags, which are pretty big. And so, you know, there is a great IMS solution. So one of the things that we hear from riders is, well, there's a great IMS solution, and it's completely cool. They use the old gen pump in the lower left wing.
Yeah.
And that then turns...
In a big tank.
In a big tank. And so that turns your bike into a 12 through 23 generation bike where you had the left-hand wing, which is great. There is a issue, though, in that if you're... Let's say I'm an older rider, and I've got some knee problems and some shoulder problems, and now I have my 501, which
So you're Tim.
So I'm Tim. Congrats, Tim. Yep, so I'm Tim.
Tim, winner of Tech Talks...
The big wiener.
Taco Moto sponsored Rooster Endo, even though I endoed his bike.
He should put that in his CV.
I was
so
gonna
like when
say,
he,
that's huge, man.
That's
You're
a
going to be
big-
fighting off the girls with a
Tim,
stick.
You should rewrite your CV and you should include that. The trophy is coming from Jimmy. He's getting it printed up. So now you have to take your bike to get you got a gallon and a quarter trapped over in the right-hand wing. You have to get off your bike and tip that whole damn big bike over so you can get on the left side. There's riders that will not.
It's really
are not.
hard on your knee replacement,
are
your
not
hip
going to do that.
replacement. Yeah, to do that. Yeah.
So with our deal, basically our concept is we're pulling from both wings at all the time.
So what we're saying is you run this on your bike.
No.
He doesn't
There's
need it.
enough whoops there that keeps it in the
Yeah.
thing. Yeah.
Yeah, Racer Man
That's
doesn't need
so
it.
bad.
So that's it. That's the
I never
system.
want to ride another hoop in my entire life.
Oh, I hear you already.
Yeah. So Tim's listening.
There we go.
Tim
Good
has
man,
23,
Tim.
23, and so he has no choice. He's got to lean his bike over because he has the older gen fuel pump system.
Yeah, he's all good. Hey, by the way, Taco Mike, thanks for coming in. It's funny because when I saw these on the bottom of your display tank, the magnets, I thought you drilled a hole through it.
No way.
I literally thought you drilled a hole through
Those
it to
magnets
stick
are-
those things down.
Yeah.
But
That's
magnet.
smart.
So
yeah,
we have
you
a
felt how
patent-
strong they are.
you have a
Feel how
patent on
strong
that?
these
Yeah,
are.
so we patented this.
Feel how strong those magnets
Yeah,
are.
and that's, some people, and the criticism is well heard. Like, I hear you when people say, hey, we've been talking about
good,
this
yeah.
for like a year and a half.
I should have switched the camera angle
Totally
so people
valid.
see me do
It
that.
takes a lot. There's a lot involved in like creating from a concept like this and then patenting it and the manufacturing that it took to get it to this point. So
Thank God the KTM engineers
Took a while.
don't know what they're doing,
took
right?
a hot minute to get here. The one last thing I was going to say is, so these sinkers, we have these made by Promoto Billet in Idaho. So these are really great. And then this is Tygon fuel. So we're using A+ premium. This is not a skimp product. We're not cutting any corners here. This is like a real deal engineering solution that has a lot of like R&D, a lot of development time, a lot of effort that went into this. So we're pretty jazzed about it.
That's cool. So if you have a newer generation KTM with the bigger fuel pump, and the reason for them going to the bigger fuel pump was what, more durability, more synchronicity with other models?
Yeah, so there's some valid reasons. The older generation bikes, the other fuel pump system had a lot of failure points. It had 4 hoses. It had like 8 connection points. There's a lot going on with it, and so a lot of room for failure. And they had a lot of failures. So they went with the new system. I don't have that, but it's shaped much like this. It had a pump motor. It has a PRV. We use the same PRV that KTM uses, pressure regulator
PRV,
valve.
pressure relief valve.
Yeah, pressure regulator valve. We use the same one. And so it's more compact. There's less room for failure, and it's modular, and it's easy to install and to replace. So you can change tanks. So there are some very valid engineering reasons to go with the concept that they switched to.
Yep.
They also use a bigger pump motor. This is our pump motor, but they used a bigger one that's used in some of the side-by-side vehicles. So it's got a broader cross part number uptake in the industry. Whereas this was more of like an Aprilia scooter. The original motor was like an undersized. They went with an oversized. So they got that. Oh, and there was one last thing I was going to say is, you had talked about these magnets and no holes. When I sat down and drew up a design scope of like what I was trying to accomplish and what I did not want the system to have, I had
more
some
points of failure.
I did not want to have holes. So it was unacceptable in our system to drill any holes. It was unacceptable for us to have any complex electronics inside the tank. It was unacceptable for us to have certain what were some of the other things? Like we had even experimented with using the original pump motor, but having like a straw, a different vacuum check valves and different
Right.
different ways to try to draw the fuel, and it just all of those decisions led to this concept because of the compromises I was unwilling to make. Like, I wanted to basically have a zero compromise system regardless of the cost, and it's valid when people say, well, that's a really expensive solution, and I accept that. But again, this is a zero compromise, no corners cut solution.
And there's definitely a market out for that stuff. People want the best stuff, especially that adventure community. I mean, when I see the parts that people are putting on their bikes and some of the stuff they put on there, like, I don't care what it costs. This is what I want to spend my money on. And
Well, these guys are they're riding in faraway places as well. You can't afford for something to go wrong.
Right. Yep. So awesome.
Thanks for letting us talk about it.
Product spotlight. A new segment on Dirt Bike Test. Now, we do have one more. You should probably put your headphones on for this, by the way.
Is this your sound effects?
We do have one more segment here that I forgot to. No, it's the letter of the week. It's from Kevin
Dog.
Kleinschmidt. Yeah, sent me a letter.
That's a lot.
It's okay. I'm going to go ahead and read it because I really want to make sure that this this gets in here. So, because Kevin has a lot of the same problems that I do. I think some of it's focus, but I probably have a little bit better punctuation and capitalization on my things. But I'm going to go ahead.
Mom, are
and
you there?
do my best. Can you hear me? We check. We all good to go?
Check.
This is Kevin's email.
Okay, I'm just responding to your comments. I'm not offended by your honesty, but I will say that my writing is subject. My fingers can't type as fast as my brain moves, and I tend to get out off track at times, mostly when I'm corresponding with legends. That said, I would like to remove the CRF 150 EAF off the Rooster Endo. It is more of a training bike for kids coming from a two-stroke 85 to 105. The idea was to create a lightweight bike with 4-stroke power delivery versus a 252 stroke, and the 150 is nearly 20 pounds lighter. After riding the 150, I was coming to the conclusion this bike was an old 125 2-stroke, makes you want to ride away, and I'm going to clearly show the obstacles with the Chinese. It was a good group of guys who could evaluate this bike, even my drop lap times, it's actually where lap times should be, but I believe this is 125 250 class would go to everywhere, and then I would fully test it, accusation points way faster. 450, just my test times were to go away. I believe that 250 years ago, but not too late, but I get it, and a Kiefer comes out in mine, I don't know what to have a problem with that sheer double alarm. You'd be hauling ass. What do you say, Jimmy? Want to test the unicorn? Maybe not. You might not exceed the weight limits at 200 pounds.
Where do you go from here?
I weighed in at 216 today on the certified dirt bike test scales with all my gear on. Just let you know that.
Mic drop.
There's a point in the video action at Pyre Lululemon Grove track. The bike ran great, ran out of fuel at the end. Keep up your good work. Thanks for it, dude. Keep up. I grew up with Steve Moore, 60 expert, got 50 in better heights. 100 mile looped out, loop C, a map, CRF 150 test ride at Peru.
Thank you. I'd like to thank you, Kevin, for
the Academy
everything.
Would like to thank Kevin for
everything
that
you
letter.
do. Yeah,
The AMA.
that was the letter of the week from Kevin Kleinschmidt. Do I have a picture of his bike? Maybe I do. I don't know. I do. No, I don't. Maybe I. Yeah, I don't.
There you go. That's it. There's second from the bottom.
I'm gonna say.
You see it? Oh, Kevin K. Let's see here.
K-Dog, valid points. Noted.
You got to block Tim's, yeah.
Okay, I got Tim's. There it is. There's the bike. That's Kevin's bike that he's talking about.
Yeah.
Notice the disrespectful pose. The turning.
Oh, it's to the front. Yeah,
turning the handlebar. Yeah, turned away.
The
But
bike is
anyways,
looking away.
he's respectfully removing this bike from the thing.
It's formerly a winner. So formerly it was a Rooster.
Kevin, we love you, and I think.
Are you gonna banish him from the island?
No,
take him
Taco Mike said that he was going to give everybody that was part of Rooster Endo a thing. So since you took your bike away, you might not get that Taco Moto $100 gift certificate.
Yeah, I mean,
you might not because you withdrew it, but I liked it.
So I'm trying to understand. He originally submitted. He would have been bike number 4, but then he changed his mind and said, "Pull it."
I think we put him in last week, but then maybe he didn't see the show because I haven't uploaded the show because I got behind in my schedule and I went riding and then I went riding and then if you heard that letter the way that if you heard the way that that letter was read by
in
that
your head.
That's the monster that I live with inside of here.
Oh, jeez.
That's what I sound like.
I'm so sorry, man.
That's what I sound like to myself.
I want to see how many viewers we have left.
29 million. I don't know.
7.
No, it's got to be way less.
7,000.
Everybody's got to go to bed. 22
22
million.
people are hanging in there.
You guys.
Million.
20. Congrats to you guys.
There's something wrong with all you
Respect.
people.
Hats off.
Respect.
Okay,
Respect.
so
That's
with
an
that,
endurance racer
we're gonna
right
skip our other segment. Hey, thanks to Joey Evans for coming in to the show tonight.
Get his book.
Super awesome. His book, Para to Dakar. It was really awesome listening to his stories. And Jerry Bernardo, we have your book too. We're not going to read this one.
Drop mushrooms and get that book.
Or this one because we don't want to have bad dreams.
Drop
tonight.
acid and get that book.
So with that, no, don't do drugs. They're bad for you, kids. Like to say thanks to all of our sponsors, especially Yamaha, of course, Moto, Bulletproof Design, Seat Concepts, Fasst Company. Who we forgetting? Double Take Mirrors. All the people that's helping.
All the people.
Thank you, Anthony, for coming out and making me more happy by riding electric bikes. And I don't mean gay when I say that. And that's it. I think we're gonna close the show down. You know how we
That's a wrap.
you know what we say when we close the show down?
End scene.
We say we'll see you out on the trail. So
See ya.
Cheers, everybody.
See
See you out on the trail.
Yeah.
Go out
Now-
and get some adventure.
Now I got to figure out how to
I
turn
got a
this.
tagline.
I got to turn that stupid thing off. I wish I didn't do it some of these times. It would stop.